Game over.
And what is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night, and you are here with the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I'm here with both of my co-hosts today, Brian D and Triggs. Boys, what is up, my dudes?
What's going on, man? I know that like I come in at like the weirdest times, like nowadays. Like people are like, "Oh, Trigger is here."
It's been a good week for it, man. I'm not even gonna lie. So it's good to have you on, Triggs. It's always good to have you. I know you're always a busy man at night times because you're
man. Speaking of, I actually have some headway on that. Check this out, man.
What you got?
I got a job opportunity for liquor sales.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, man. So anyone who's had like a significant time or like a relatively decent time in the bar industry kind of knows that like that's like the progression of like a bartender. You know, like you start as like a regular, and then like maybe you come in as like a bar back or something like that, and then maybe a bartender, do that for like 10 years, and then maybe manager, GM or something like that. But the lucky few get to go into liquor sales because they've been around the industry for so long. I hopefully might be one of those lucky few who will enter the realm of liquor distribution. Instead of serving it, I will be serving it wholesale.
Very cool. Very cool. Congratulations, man.
Chris, when we had like one of the effects, you'd be like, boom, 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 like you have.
Let's see. What do I got? I'm a pro gamer. Good job, Triggs, my dude. That's good, man. It's good. Brian, how about you? How's your week?
Yo, fellas, brothers, how is everybody doing today? I'm doing great, man. I want to know how was your week, Chris?
So far, so good. A lot of work, which is common for us adults. Just a lot of adulting, and what a good week to be a nerd, man. What a great work. What a great week.
My mom's on sick.
Hey,
thanks,
what's
Mom.
going on, Ms. Duran? Nice
Mom.
to see you. So it was quite the exciting weekend, man. We finally got the opportunity, and it's been such a long-awaited opportunity for us to finally get out to go see DrStrange 2. We've been waiting for so long. This movie has been talked about, screamed about, just advertised. Man, the advertisement for DrStrange 2 was off the chain. I don't know what it was, but I feel the commercial and the buildup was probably a little bit more hype than the movie was for me, but it really was a solid movie. And I can't wait to talk about it a little bit later with you guys. But we do have some other stuff that we want to talk about today. Of course, we have the Moon Knight season finale that we're going to be talking about. And probably one of the coolest things, which I haven't talked to Triggs in a while, but it's good that you're on the show. But we finally got a great, solid-ass trailer on, of course, our favorite day, Star Wars Day, May the 4th. For the Disney Plus series that's going to be coming out called The Obi-Wan Show, right? So, guys, did you guys get to see the trailer?
Oh, of course. I think I saw it 4 hours, like 3 or 4 hours after it dropped on Disney.
Ooh,
like
nice.
on the Disney YouTube, because there are like I have like on my YouTube, I kind of started getting a little bit smart, and I was like, I stopped getting notifications, or I put my notifications very, very specific to certain channels. So Comics Explained, I will always know like when he drops something new. I'll always know when IGN, Disney, Sony, Nintendo, and like I want to say like maybe a dozen more channels that like I will get notifications when they drop something. And then obviously it's hit or miss with some of those because they put out a lot of shit. But I mean, Disney as of late has been one of those where I'm like, okay, I kind of want to know like what they're putting out, what they're going to be releasing and stuff. And that's why like when Obi-Wan dropped, I was like, oh, no one talk to me right now.
So boys, how do you feel about the trailer that got released for Obi-Wan? How do you feel about what it looks like pacing wise? Is it everything you expected it was going to be? Like,
Yo,
go for it,
bro,
Brian.
this trailer hit me like it came out of nowhere. I didn't even know it was coming, and I was actually worse than Trigger. I didn't see it until maybe like damn near at night. Like I didn't even know it was out, to be honest with you. And then when I saw it, I was like, bro, this shit is fucking. You know what it did? It shot me straight back to episode 3. Like I don't
Right.
give,
Okay.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
The prequels are hands down my favorite trilogy. Like,
Okay,
it's not even close.
that's cool. That's cool.
I
And
think it's
that-
because like some of us grew up in those, so like
Yeah.
they have that like hard nostalgic feeling.
Absolutely.
And you know what, like a lot of people shit on those like early sequels for being whatever they are to them.
Mhm.
And you know, like I'm not one of those people because like I remember Phantom Menace and I remember like news coverage when people were buying tickets. You know, back in the 90s and shit. And so like I remember that being like a big fucking deal. And when Revenge of the Sith came out, I think it was in high school. And I was like, oh my god, dude, this is gonna set off so much shit. And then lo and behold, you know, we get a brand new trilogy, and that one was something.
Yeah. So honestly, I loved it. I loved it. It caught me off guard. I was surprised. I loved it. Yo, all I know is that at some point during this series, I need Anakin and I need Obi to run that fade. They need to run it back, bro. I need
Bro, it's gonna happen. Like if you think it ain't gonna happen, I mean you crazy.
Yo, my boy Anakin, my boy Annie was just had an off day. It was a bad day. I need him to shoot that back, yo. He just had a bad day. You know, we all have bad
He didn't
days.
get to stretch, man.
He didn't stretch out.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan was playing these high ground games. He just, you know what? He's
High ground games.
you know?
So the director of the film, the director of the Obi-Wan television show already came out and clarified pretty much that there is not going to be a Darth Maul in the series.
Okay. I mean, whatever.
So, me myself, I'm happy for that.
Does that make you sad? Does that make you sad?
I mean, in a little bit, like not really. I think that definitively, I think Darth Maul got a really great story throughout the entire Clone Wars and Rebel story.
I agree.
Even a very, very masterfully cinematically done ending. That was
beautiful.
Very like very. It was so memorable, and it would be so cool to see that in live action. But I think that's the beauty of it. It gets people to go back and finally see the masterpiece that the Rebels show was. It's so full of like the new canon and lore. You don't have to read about it like the way it was in the legend stories. Like you could just literally go and spend a weekend or even a week, like the way Hayden Christensen went back and did his due diligence in researching Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader and saw the entire Clone Wars saga and the Rebel saga and was like, I was blown away. I didn't even know the character had gotten this much more development in the cartoon or in the animated series. And they went back and they talked to the director, and the director of the animated series was like, I'm just happy he watched it. Absolutely. Like, I'm happy he watched it. I'm happy he liked it. So like the growth of all the characters in that are super good. I mean, if it wasn't for those shows, we wouldn't have someone like Ahsoka Tano. So that's why I think it would be a really nice, I mean, it's like a Trigger was talking off camera and said that, like, you know, when he was out there watching the DrStrange movie, he ran into a gentleman that might end up going and reading into the comic books, you know, doing his research and going and getting into the source material. And I think that's a really good, I know I have a tendency to shit a lot on these newer stories that are coming out, and I don't mind it. But the reason why is because I want greatness for this, because I think it deserves Oscars and I think it deserves Grammys and all that stuff.
Oh, wait, so you're telling me that you take a big shit on everything that comes out just because
I expect better. That's because I expect better, and I know what they're capable of. That's really what it is. I know what they're capable of.
I feel you.
And it's just one of those things.
I can understand that complete sentiment and you know, even agree with it. We also have to understand that these are, oh man, I can't even say kid stories, but these are stories that are that are made for like a specific niche, and once we like, once we kind of start like bringing that into like a more mainstream audience, which is granted, which is exactly what the MCU is trying to do, right?
Mhm.
They're trying to, you know, bring in the mainstream audience, who the people who aren't casual or even avid comic book fans or readers for that matter, to pay attention to these IPs. You know, the fact that they have so much traction now
Yep.
is, I mean, that alone, I'm sure for at least comic book creators is good enough.
That's why I always say, man, what a great time to be alive. What a great time to be alive. But boys, I need to know, what was your reaction to the trailers? What did you see in it? What did you dig about it? What's getting you excited? I'll go right off the top and I'll tell you, I am so excited to see that Blade Runner city.
Yes.
Like, I'm excited to see that weird, futuristic, Fifth Element, Blade Runner vibe. I'm so tired of them being in deserts, man. I'm
Three
so
things for
tired
me.
of
Yo,
get
but
me
we're
out of
still
the
getting-
desert, man.
Yo, who knew that Tatooine was such like the hot spot? Like, who knew that?
Right?
Right?
Like this show takes place on Tatooine as well. So it's like, and now before we would never see Tatooine, but now it's like in every fucking show that we're watching.
By chance, are you guys?
Well, at least it's better than Jakku, where like that's like a dead
planet.
ass desert planet.
So are they going to do any of the story plot in like Mustafar or anything like that?
I think they're gonna go back. I think because like you kind of see some Mustafar shots,
Mhm.
like, or at least it looked like it. For me, there was three things that stood out to me in this trailer, and
Okay.
Go.
the first one being that Joel Edgerton's uncle Ben, or
Uncle
uncle
Ben.
like
Well, I love his
uncle
attitude.
character. That guy,
Yeah,
is
Owen.
Uncle Owen.
Oh,
That
yeah,
guy
Uncle
is a
Owen.
fucking hoss. That guy will fucking throw down, dude.
Well, I mean, he's a
That
pretty-
guy's
I mean,
a straight
It's a
hoss.
solid character, man.
Um,
You know,
and two,
the Inquisitor.
no, believe it or not, the Inquisitors did not impress me at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Weirdly enough, man, they did not impress me at all.
do
Maybe
you
it's just
guys
because
think
I'm not
they
getting a
did
lot
there?
of, maybe just because I just haven't gotten enough screen time with them, you know, to where like I don't know, like I'm expecting a little bit more out of the Inquisitors only because of Fallen Order, where there's a lot of development on the Inquisitors.
What do you guys think of the Grand Inquisitor? Like, what do you guys think of the way he looks? Like, we didn't touch on it, Chris. But when
He
you
looks very
first-
fat faced.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, like,
it's like-
and I don't mean it in
Looks very
disrespect,
fat.
right? Like I
I do
get
fucking
it. It's a live action interpretation of who we're supposed to be getting from the series and the animated series, and you know,
Get someone
getting a
skinnier.
streamline. I mean, they even talked about
Was he fat?
the dude from Boba Fett, right? How people shit on him too, which I forgot the fucking bounty hunter guy name. Forgot off the top of my head. The blue guy. The blue
Wait,
dude
okay,
that
yeah.
Boba Fett tanked.
the blue guy that I don't even remember that.
The bounty
fucking
hunter
show.
guy, the cowboy dude.
Oh, fucking
I forgot his name. I forgot his name.
Bane, what's his name?
See, that's how unmemorable that show was.
Yeah,
Anyway, Cad Bane. Boom.
Cad Bane.
Yes.
But like, it's one of those things like yeah, I just the application of him coming to the live action, and every time he comes out, like his face looks rounder than his
And better.
streamlined character from the animated series. Like, he looks very, I mean, but then again, it's an animation, so he looks super chiseled. But like, man, he looks well fed.
Yo,
That's
the
the
Star
easiest
Wars,
way I can say it.
Star Wars fans are so fickle, bro. Like, just 2 months ago or just last month, I've been hearing nothing but people just shit on how the Grand Inquisitor looks. And then after this last trailer, everyone's like, you know what? He doesn't look so bad.
Well, I
He doesn't
mean,
look
they already videotaped it. I mean, they can't get it. They're not gonna get it any other way. They just have to just take it, man. But like in the
So the-
aspect
the-
of it, like,
For me, there's two more things. God damn it! Since I was rudely interrupted.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry,
Yeah,
Chicky, go on.
kind
We kind of
dude.
do here, though.
Yeah, a bitch, man.
Anyway,
Anyway,
kind of our thing.
yeah. So the other one is dude, Obi-Wan is still just so fucking in the Jedi Order and like the ways and stuff like that. He's like, bro, when he becomes of age, man, we got to train him. And Uncle Owen's like, that's not happening.
Oh, like he trained his father.
Yeah, he was like,
His
that's not
assassin,
happening.
That was a good.
That was
Yeah,
such a
and you
good
know what,
comeback.
man? It's very, very rare that a trailer gets an emotional response from me, because usually it's either like excitement or like frustration, right? you know. But like this time, I was like, yeah, man, fuck you, Obi, bitch ass.
Man,
Like,
always
yeah, I was like, you
weird
ain't training
hippie
shit.
Just your weird hippie shit.
Yeah, and then the last one was you get to see Obi-Wan do some fucking get to do
CQC, man, Metal Gear Solid style,
yeah,
dude.
man, some fucking good old Krav Maga CQC, dude. I was about it. I was like, okay, man, this is showing some well-rounded.
Because throughout all the series of Star Wars, we've never seen a Jedi use hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, it should look dope, bro.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool when he was like
there's only one time in the entire like original trilogy where you actually get to see some hand to hand, and that's actually between Anakin and Obi-Wan, where they're actually striking each other.
Oh yeah, but that's almost
but it was like it was
right?
but it was like so nonchalant where like they had to strike each other, and then they picked up their lightsabers again.
And it's so weird. And you know what? I'm going to take it back because there is, and it's with Donnie Yen, right? When Donnie Yen does the hand-to-hand fighting against the stormtroopers in the Rogue story.
Yeah.
Rogue One. You remember the blind guy, Brian?
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Like that hand-to-hand combat scene felt so alien, but so good to see at the same time. Like it was refreshing. It was refreshing to see it in a Star Wars film. And again, it had never been like brought back to where they're doing hand-to-hand combat again. I mean, yeah, like you have Han Solo and all that stuff, but that's more of like Pirates of the Caribbean swashbuckling, dude, run and slide off of the car hood and punch a dude.
And speaking of that, man, like, do you know what other movie actually just incorporated like some very, very small form of hand-to-hand combat, and you will never guess? Harry Potter. The Harry Potter series.
Oh, yeah, the Dumbledore, the Secrets.
Yeah, Dumbledore versus Grindelwald. There's actually like a little bit of like they're kind of like moving through each other, and then wand action, and I'm like, okay.
And then Ezra Miller has to run in there, and everybody's got to just tackle.
No, this is at the very end, but still, dude. Like, even then, like I mean, dude, he gets thrown around like a little punk, dude. I love it.
Who, Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because they didn't even tell him to act. It was real. They were just beating the shit out of him. They were trying to calm him down.
Yeah, they were like, look, just imagine that Jude is the KKK.
Yeah,
go for it.
Jude Law, he's that KKK cult you didn't like. So that's him. Go after him in this shot.
I'm kind of, I kind of have to disagree with Triggs on this one. I am interested in the Inquisitors, mainly Reva. Like, I want to know, or Reva. I don't even know how you say her name. But the black chick, yo, she looks like she's gonna be badass.
I mean, she looks heavy, man. She looks like she's gonna bring the skin, man. She looks like she's gonna bring that shit. When she pulls out her lightsaber and she starts doing damage, like, it looks good.
Bro, Homegirl's ready for the smoke, dude.
Yo, when she screams out like you can't escape him, and then like
Obi-Wan, you can't escape.
Yo, when you see Vader's like arm get attached and you see his charred body and shit, like that shit is dope, bro. Like, again,
do you think this
got
is
straight back to episode 3? Like,
do you think this series, if I'm not mistaken, what's it supposed to be like? I'm guessing like 10 episodes?
6.
Yeah. Oh, it's 6 episodes. Jeez, 6. I was hoping.
Okay.
Ooh, well, I don't know. I mean, Ewan McGregor can bring it. I mean, he can bring 6 episodes. But do you think that Obi-Wan the series is going to suffer the same curse that all the other Marvel and Disney Star Wars Plus shows suffer from, where they only bring the action and the important shit on the last episode?
No,
because my biggest concern,
Mando was action packed throughout the whole every season.
Yeah,
because my biggest concern for this is Darth Vader doesn't come out till the last episode at the very end.
I'm fully ready for that. Like, I feel
honestly, dude, like, you kind of have to expect that's gonna happen. Like, you're probably gonna get a cameo of him episode 3. You're gonna get a reference to him episode 1. You're probably gonna see a silhouette of him finally, like a full reveal episode 5, and then maybe.
Yo, can you imagine all of this happens word for word and shit? Like, I'm come back here, like, yo, this guy Trigger is
oh man, dude, I can't wait to get.
And then episode 6, you're gonna get
But can you imagine? God, I would fucking be so mad if every episode was like the only bit of Darth Vader we get is the scene where like the arm connects,
Yeah.
and then the next scene comes, and then it's like his chest piece gets put on. Then the next scene, then the next episode, his boot comes on. Like every episode is just one little piece of him getting put on, and then at the last episode, episode 6, is when you finally get the helmet, and he's like, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. The whole season, dude.
I heard that Hayden was there for a while, so it would just suck if we only got him in like the last.
Dude, I really hope we get him, like, if we can get him like in the 3rd episode, and then it's like a build from there, like a chase or some type of thing where he's out there to try to hunt Obi-Wan down. And I don't even like, and I could be the only person in this, but I hope we don't get the helmeted Darth Vader. Like, I hope we get like the long-haired Anakin with the scars and all that shit on, like where he just has like the respirator, kind of like I don't know, like I hope we get that long raggedy hair look.
Yeah, no, that's a hard sell because there's no way you ask this guy to, you're paying him so much money, you're not gonna have him underneath the fucking helmet whenever you see him.
I don't know, man. Look at the way they did Kylo Ren, man. That's, you know, Adam Driver did an amazing job with and without the helmet.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. You guys can tell me this. You guys can tell me what you feel about the
story behind his helmet was so. What was?
I mean, look at the Mandalorian, dude. They did an entire show, literally with Pedro Pascal with a helmet on, and it's sold. No one gave a shit about him needing to take the helmet off or off. Like he made his own character.
But that was a brand new character, though.
Yeah,
like,
not only was that a brand new character, but it didn't. Yeah, but it also. But the removal of the helmet itself,
they made it into a thing.
Was
they made it into
as important as like his identity, what he looked like. All of that was just as important as the Mangado character itself.
Yeah, it's so fucking crazy.
You know what's crazy about that? You know what's crazy? What's even more crazier about that is that they kind of like wiped that all out in the Book of Boba Fett. Like in that episode,
yeah, dude, that guy was just walking around with his shit off all day.
He didn't give a fuck about taking his helmet off, bro. Like it was always off.
But that's the big thing about the Boba Fett character is they literally were like, yo, he's really not a Mandalorian. He doesn't really give a shit about the culture or anything. Like, I don't know. Like every day that I think about Boba Fett, it disappoints me more and more. Like they had a Fortnite sale and they brought out the Boba Fett skin, and I hope it didn't sell. I hope it didn't sell.
Chris, what did you think about the trailer, dude? I don't think you actually gave your answer. First off, how many times did you see it? How many? And be honest, like
I saw it 3 times.
Okay, I saw maybe like 10. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I saw it 3 times. I was at work when it came out, and when it dropped, I was real like, no way, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like,
I was the same way.
Yeah,
I honestly got
I didn't know they were gonna drop a trailer. I was so like comparing it to like Disney's Marvel, where like the hype for a trailer is like in 7 days.
But how fucked up would that have been?
Trailer.
Like, how fucked up would that have been if we didn't get anything? Like,
no, I mean it's Star Wars. They understand. Like literally, May the 4th is like literally almost a holiday. It's almost like a self-made holiday for a film, which no other film has. There's no Jaws Day. There's no Ghostbusters Day. There's no fucking Avengers Day.
There should be a Ghostbusters Day. God damn it.
There should be. Yeah, there really should be. But you know, May the 4th is literally almost a solid literal holiday. So we had to get something that day. There's even like Revenge of the 5th, because that's the May 5th, which is the Sith Day, which I don't know who comes up with this stuff, but that's G2. Like that's so smart. They're literally just making like advertisements for Star Wars without it even, you know, needing.
Yeah, dude, I like it was so funny on my Facebook feed. It was so like, you think it's Cinco de Drinko? Wrong, motherfucker. It's Revenge of the 5th. And I was like, oh.
Of course, I couldn't go one day without being a fucking hater, dude. I literally got on Facebook. It was like, yo, if you're celebrating fucking May the 4th, but you thought Boba Fett was good,
you
fucking trash, dude.
Like I need to block you from all my social
media. So toxic,
bro.
dude.
Like I'll literally be having the best day, bro. I'll be scrolling,
right, dude, and then Chris will come in with his overwhelming negativity.
Oh,
thank you so much.
I love you for that, bro. I love you for that, though.
I'm sitting there and I'm laughing. I just literally do it for fun. Like you know, I'm you know, it's one of those things. Like, you know, Boba Fett, it was kind of a letdown. I mean, yeah, I understand that there's some people out there that like it, which nothing against you guys. If you love Boba Fett, fucking run it, dude. Run it, dude. We love you for it, because someone needs to watch that shit over and over again to keep the views up. Because we ain't gonna watch it. but fuck, dude,
because it ain't gonna be me.
Because it ain't gonna be me watching that shit. But
That's
I just
so foul. That they had that
I
Mando
fear
episode.
that. I fear that so much, like that the companies end up getting comfortable and they're like, we'll just print it, we'll run it like this, and it's okay. They'll accept it either way. That's what I fear the most out of. Boba Fett really did that, but you know, it's like you said, like the Mandalorian, it didn't disappoint. Not even the second to the last in the previous episode on the Boba Fett show, like those didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
You know, I think for what it's worth, they took a chance with Boba Fett, and I don't think they're going to run it back. And if they do, they're going to bring in a different director or a different
They'll
something.
run it back. Yeah,
But I think they're going to bring in something else. I think they're going to bring in someone else to kind of run it because they need to change the theme of it. But overall, the trailer for the for Obi-Wan, it's literally like you said. It reminded me of the prequels. It had the same vibe, the same color scheme, the same technology around the area. It wasn't. There was something about the new trilogy that was missing a lot of the. Hey, how is this the future of this universe if everything looks like it just stayed the same?
Yeah,
like it really didn't change. There was nothing that upgraded. You know, everything was just the same. For some reason, the Obi-Wan trailer makes me feel that the prequels upgraded. Like it literally makes me feel that. When I saw the scene that, like I said earlier, with the Blade Runner, the Neo Tokyo, the very futuristic city, I was so excited for no fucking reason. Like I have no idea why that made me excited. But of course, it's the expansion of the Star Wars universe, things we don't get to see in the films, but stuff that we only get to see in the video games / the comic books and all this other stuff that we've never visually seen with our eyes. So I'm super excited to see that. Just like I'm super excited to see the Avatar 2 movie. Did you guys see the trailer?
Yeah, I saw this
Before?
movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
so
this movie.
stupid
Yo,
excited.
you know what? I'm sorry. I might have to play the Chris role in this. I'm not.
You weren't sold on it?
I wasn't interested, bro.
I'm a big fan of
It's-
Ferngully, so like Avatar is like my shit.
Holy
I
shit.
love
All right.
Ferngully. You remember
Weird
Ferngully?
flex, but okay.
Weird flex, but okay. I had the Walkman and everything. And
Yeah, right.
Tone Loc was in that movie, man. Don't fuck
He
around.
was though.
Yeah,
Look,
it was Tone
wasn't-
Loc. You remember that shit? I love that
Um,
movie, man. Dude,
so-
that was so good.
So for me, it was super fucking weird, dude, because like I saw the movie and I was like, okay, there's one human and he's kind of weird. And then they're like, oh, the family, and I'm like, you fucker, while as a human too.
Yo, you're gonna fucking hate this movie. I already know it.
Dude,
Yo, I don't even know if I'm gonna see it. I'm
I'm
honest,
gonna
I
put
don't know
my
if I'm
fucking
see it.
finger on this shit. That dude, that little human dude, is their kid. I'm gonna fucking quote that shit right now. They're gonna have twins, and it's gonna be a girl and a boy, and the boy's gonna be a human boy.
Dude, I see that happening. I see it
It's
happening.
so
I see that happening. Dude.
Ferngully gone real fucking
I'm
weird.
letting you know right
Dude.
now. Guys, I'm probably not gonna check this out. I'm sorry.
Dude, it's gonna be like he's gonna be the Jesus of the Avatar people, dude. It's gonna be
Get the
weird as fuck, man.
outta here, dude.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to take a bunch of mushrooms, even though I'm a drastically allergic, just deathly allergic to mushrooms. Just fucking inflating and getting swollen and shit. Dude, but of course, James Cameron is a fucking master at his craft.
yeah.
So
the
like,
only thing that has me interested in this.
yeah, dude, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful. And then knowing that it's gonna be more about like the ocean and the water and all this shit, like for what they did in the world building that they did in Avatar Part 1, like, oh my god, I'm excited for Part 2 to see like. But then again, I'm telling you, like, it reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn. It reminds me of my favorite fucking video game.
I
And
got
that's
that
why I
vibe too.
fucking love it.
I got that vibe too.
Monty Smith, I love that. I love you for asking that. Buzz Lightyear, that's the fucking trailer. Dude, that movie looks like it's gonna be fucking hard as shit.
Wait,
dude.
does that movie take place before Toy Story or after? Or do we
Before.
not know? Before, right?
Before,
Okay.
yeah, because it's the prequel story to who Buzz Lightyear is in real life.
Okay.
Like what the character is based on. And it gives me Interstellar vibes, and I love Interstellar because of the one scene that they go on that water planet and they come back and it's like that dude was
7
in
years.
space for like 25 years
Yeah.
suffering from space madness. Remember that shit?
Mhm.
Buzz Lightyear does some not portal, but he does like light speed travel.
Mhm.
And in the process of it, he goes through, it works, but he ends up coming back 65 years later. So like he time travels, and then he's got to, the Earth has been conquered by Zord or Zod or whatever his name was, the bad guy from his toy line. Zord, right? Zerd, yeah. And he's got to go stop that dude. I'm literally gonna make that fucking cosplay you watch, dude. I'm literally gonna make that cosplay, and I'm gonna make him look like Doom, dude. I'm gonna literally make it look like Doom.
The first Avatar came out in 2009, bro.
I'm telling you, man, this guy's 13 ago. And it was spectacular the first time it came out. Like, man, that movie of all time. Mind.
Yo, that's a large gap between. Like, I don't even care anymore, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the Avatar movie was pretty much run and done. Like, okay, cool. Like, Sully becomes an alien or an avatar, and he gets the chick, and he becomes the tribal leader of this place. They nuke out the humans. They can't take their stuff. Fern Gully all over again. Like, it's literally Fern Gully.
So I'm convinced the only reason why you want to see this movie is because it just reminds you of
Fern Gully and Horizon Zero Dawn. I other than that, I don't really know the premise of this story. Like, I don't really know. Like, I know he was making a part 2. I just not really sure what it would come off of. You know what I mean? Because the movie in the first one was pretty much straightforward. The only thing that I fucking really dug was the actor that was the villain.
Yeah, he was badass.
Oh, dude, that guy. I don't know why he's not making Terminator movies and why he wasn't in the Matrix as a commando.
He plays that character in almost every movie that he's in. He plays that same
he reminds me of the Gunny.
Tough guy, yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of the Gunny. But he does that. He did that role so well. I thought that was so cool. He really reminded me of someone that could be in the Matrix movies, but like the original Matrix, like the trilogy and the war scene. Like, he just looks like one of those war-torn guys. Super good actor, super good villain. What is it? Robert says, bro, I'm excited for Avatar, but I'm sorry, I've never seen the first one. Like, I tried twice, but I fall asleep every time.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh. Like, yo, there's more of me out there, bro. Like,
there's more of me out there. Man, I need Brian from 2009, dude, to come in here and talk shit about Doctor Strange.
I think I might have fucking slept during that fucking movie, like the first one.
What is it about the movie?
Wasn't it like 3 hours long or some shit like that? Like
270, maybe 250. I'm gonna say like 250. But like, okay, so let me ask then, what was it about the Avatar movie that knocked you out?
I don't know. I mean, I guess just buying into the lore of it, I guess. I don't know. Okay. I was a wild person in 2009, bro. Like, it was gonna have to sell me more than what it did. So I mean, I guess stemming from that, I'm just not interested at all. I get it. Like, I understand. I see. It's beautiful to look at. Trust
me. By chance, with knowing that there's a part 2 coming, would you give a chance to see the movie through and through all the way through it? No, it doesn't interest you at all.
Absolutely not. I have no.
That's dude, Brian is just like me on some of these stuff.
Yeah, I was like, Brian, this
man, would you ever give this a chance?
25,000 fucking leagues under the sea, man.
Yeah, dude.
James Cameron fucking
I didn't like them on land. I didn't like them on land. I know I'm gonna hate them in fucking water, bro.
That's hardcore, man. James Cameron,
we don't like one.
I'm not gonna like them in fucking water, bro.
But James Cameron once took a submarine to like the deepest parts of the ocean.
No, that was
Rolex
cool.
on, and he answered a text from his wife.
That's
and
dope.
You can't even give him the opportunity to watch his movie, man.
I watched Terminator or something, but
okay, that'll work. Yeah, that works for me too.
Yeah,
Terminator works.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. Okay, going back, Obi-Wan looks like it's going to be a pretty crazy pickup from the Boba Fett TV show. It looks like there's a lot more finance behind this series.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why.
This is the one,
right? There's going to be more finance behind this movie.
Yeah, no, this is
the highest grossing movie of all time. They're gonna write them a blank check.
I think he's still talking about Avatar. You're talking about Obi-Wan.
No,
right?
We're talking about Obi-Wan.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Obi-Wan. The way that the trailer looked, but yeah, the way that the trailer looked, it looked financially more than what they put behind the Boba Fett series.
No, absolutely. But yo, if you remember, this was supposed to be a movie. Like, this wasn't supposed. It was supposed to be a movie first, and then it got scrapped.
Yeah,
remember?
Oh shit!
It was supposed to be a movie, and then it got scrapped. This was supposed to be the first movie that was supposed to be outside of the Skywalker, like.
Oh, like this was around the time that they were doing
Dude,
the
this
solo
was years
movie.
ago. This
Years
was
ago.
a minute ago.
Yeah.
It was supposed to
So this
come
was
out,
around
and
the
then it
time
got
they were doing
scrapped.
solo.
Yeah, it
So
got
they mentioned that
scrapped.
they were going to do solo, and then they were going to do an Obi-Wan.
No,
film,
and it
right?
was because of Solo. That's what happened. Because
Okay.
and that's so fucked up. We didn't get an Obi-Wan movie because Solo tanked. So because Solo tanked, they scrapped the Obi-Wan movie. So then they got the bright idea, hey, let's make it a fucking TV show. And now they made it into a series on Disney Plus.
I must ask, because I saw it in the comments. Samuel Jackson.
We do this like once every 2 weeks or once every
I'm
2
telling
weeks.
you, man. Do you think there's a possibility?
I hope so.
Triggs?
I hope so.
Dude, if we do, it's gonna be a cameo.
Mace Windu?
I'll take it.
Yeah, it'll be a Mace Windu cameo.
What would it? Okay, so let me ask you both a question then. This is a following question about Mace Windu. How would you like him to come back in the series? Like in what? Not in like wearing a suit and shit like that, but like in what fashion, in what action sequence, or in what terms would you like him to come back in the show? As what role or what part of a story plot?
Tricks.
Oh,
I'll start it off. I really hope he comes back to fight Anakin and then gets killed as Darth Vader. Like that he comes back to try to finish the job. That he sees what happened to Anakin after that whole entire situation. That he sees what transpires.
It didn't work out for him well the first time. So I mean,
right.
You know how I want my fucking Mace Windu to come back. I want him to come back as Jules from fucking Pulp Fiction with the fucking wig on and with the fucking
with a black suit.
Does he look like a bitch?
Again? Say what again?
Why are you trying to fuck him?
Say what again?
Motherfucker.
Dude.
That's how I vision
good.
my Mace Windu come my voice. Yeah, that's how he's coming back.
Motherfucker,
You know what they
I
call a
wasn't
burger
talking to
in-
you.
You know what they call a burger in Europe? A
Which one is
Royale
it?
with cheese.
It says bad motherfucker.
Fucker.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
God,
that's
that
how I
would be
want.
so
Honest
good.
to God, dude, it would be hilarious if like that's how you saw Mace Windu. Like, which one is yours, sir? It says Mace Windu on it, motherfucker.
It
Word.
says head Jedi. Or what is it? Master Jedi. Man, that would be so crazy. Triggs, what about you? How would you like to see Mace Windu?
Samuel
come back?
Jackson? Oh man.
No, not
you
Samuel
know, dude,
Jackson.
like
Samuel Jackson come back with a patch eye. He got scratched by a cat.
right.
He'll come back as Jules.
No,
like-
you know what, dude? Like, you know what would actually be kind of cool is that like if like after the whole Order 66 thing, you see him on Tatooine, like in some back alley, like begging for change or some shit like that, and like Obi-Wan passes right by him and doesn't
like
even
cloaked
notice,
up, right?
yeah, doesn't even fucking notice that it's him, and he's like all ragged up or some shit like that, and like you kind of see him like look over, and it's like you know some shit, you know, he's scarred, and like he looks at Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan just stops, senses that there's a force presence, and kind of just moves along.
Does he need a Nick Fury eye, dude? Like, does that feel? Do you feel like he needs a Nick Fury eye in this one too? Like, just like he needs to have that scratch on his eye with his eye gray and shit.
Hell
Or
yeah, dude.
purple. His
Hell
eyes
yeah.
purple for no reason and shit.
Comes back looking just like fucking
Nick Fury.
yeah,
Right.
just like Nick Fury and shit. I'm laughing.
Yo, my thing would be like it's like a chase scene, right? Between like Obi-Wan and like the forces with Anakin. And they corner him off, and then all of a sudden, like you just see like a cloaked figure drop, and then you see like the purple lightsaber come on, and when you see it come on, the hand is also robotic like Anakin's. Because remember, they chopped his hand off, remember?
Yeah.
And that would be such a like an antithesis of having like a positive and a negative fighting each other. You have Mace Windu, which uses like one of the craziest styles of martial arts from the Jedi Academy, versus Anakin Skywalker, who uses literally the same style to fight each other. The styles, like they both clash in such a horrible way, like that it's just wild to see them just throw down.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. You get what I'm saying, right? Like it would be so cool.
Actually,
because-
I'm trying to
Hold
remember
on.
what style Anakin.
Hold
used.
on 1 second. Rob in the comments. I agree with you, dude.
Yoda.
Yo, if there's a Yoda reference, or at least like a nod to what he's doing or where he is, I'll be satisfied. I don't necessarily have to see him, but I need a Yoda reference because yo, it's so interesting that there
has to
yo
be.
Order 66 kind of was a fuck up because they let the most powerful motherfuckers escape.
The most powerful Jedi's out.
Yeah, you still got Yoda walking around out there. You have fucking Obi-Wan out there somewhere, bro. Like they could.
I mean,
potentially
literally
take down the whole shit.
the guy, Anakin Skywalker, the dude who jumped out of a vehicle to fall down like 8 stories, 9 stories to land on another car, saw Mace Windu go out the window and was like, "Oh, we got him."
We got him.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Like, yeah,
And
we got
Mace
him.
Windu is somewhere alive. Like you,
Oh,
like
yeah, I
Order
guarantee it.
66 was a fuck up if you really think about it, bro.
Yeah.
It was a fuck up.
And then Monty says, "I like to see Forrest Whitaker as Cyborg, a leader or a larger Jedi, larger Jedi. I hope I read that right. A Cyborg leader would be pretty cool. Forrest Whitaker played the dude that was in Rogue One,
Yeah.
but he died on the planet though.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I think he's pretty. Yeah, I think he. In
Well,
that
he may not be dead yet, but spoiler alert, he gonna die.
Yeah, but he kind of like did the whole like going down with the ship kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was like an honorable kind of like go out, which I kind of feel like that pretty much would can it, or not can it, but that would be a pretty good send off for his character. But if you want, if you go back to the Rebels cartoon and the Clone Wars, he does come out a lot in both of those series. The other one would be Cal Kestis, man.
Cal Kestis,
And that's a deep scar for you guys because you guys love the shit out of that game.
I would actually rather see him more than Mace Windu, to be honest with you.
Really? So what is it that you feel is a better story developing character for him more than Mace Windu?
Well, for one, he never got to finish his Jedi training. He was still a Padawan.
Okay.
So like the story behind Cal Kestis is like he's like literally right in the middle of his fucking Jedi training. Right in the middle of his Jedi training. He doesn't even get his lightsaber. He hadn't even made it that far to build a lightsaber in his training. And when everything happened, his master gave him his broken lightsaber, and he's like, "Run."
Good shit. Oh, that's because that's when they're like killing everybody, right?
Yep. Yeah. Gives him his lightsaber, and he's like, "Run." And he was like, run. And so
Wait,
that's why he knows saber combat. And so like as the game progresses, he kind of represses a lot of those memories because he doesn't like the more that he thinks about it, the more that like he's gonna give off that presence of being a force user. And so like he suppresses a lot of those memories. So within the game, you see him start like reactivating his memories of like, okay,
so do you guys subscribe to the idea that Cal Kestis is the character that saved Grogu in the flashback?
I mean, it'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Because my question is, I hadn't played the game yet. Does he escape Order 66 from the Academy, or is he somewhere out in the field?
I believe it's from the Academy.
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, that would kind of
remember correct. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's from the Academy.
That would put him in the position, man. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it would be like I have to believe in some way, shape, or form that like all these guys talk, and like they have like a little weird meeting at Skywalker Ranch, and we're like, hey, your game, make it tie into my show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they have to have the writers all get together and kind of bleed into this stuff. And I think that with what they've created, because Cal Kestis has a pretty good fan base that's almost equivalent to Ahsoka Tano's.
I was going to say, like, the games.
Yeah, man, he really is like the new Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
The games have been carrying the Star Wars names strong. Like, there hasn't really been a letdown in any of the games. So why not? Why not reward them for holding it down? So yeah.
I mean, the only other random character that I can think about that I would like to see one day in Star Wars would be Starkiller.
Except that's later.
Yeah, that's because that's during Vader's reign, right? Yeah. So that would be one of my favorite characters. That's a live action I would get behind in a heartbeat if they decided to go.
Yeah, because like the way that one goes by,
Force Unleashed.
In Force Unleashed, like Luke is already a Jedi, like or he's like right in the middle of his training. So Luke is already an adult.
Yeah. That would be so fucking cool. But yeah, I'm really excited for what I've seen so far for the Obi-Wan trailer. When are we looking at it coming out? It's first episode is supposed to
25th,
debut
May 25th.
May 27th.
May 27th. So again, just a sidebar. So that day I think is a Friday. I forget why they moved it to a Friday. Something's happening on that Wednesday, but then it's switching to Wednesdays, the same Wednesdays that Miss Marvel is going to be airing.
Kamala Khan.
So we're gonna get both of those, and I'm promising you that's so tactical because one of those two shows is ass, and it's something it need to be saved. So that's the reason why they're stacking them back to back on the same day. I promise you.
So you think it's a good idea for Disney and Marvel to be putting out content at the same day? You don't think it kind of over? I mean,
I actually psychologically think it's a good idea, and I actually kind of agree with Brian because like. Look at it this way, dude. Like you're already on Disney Plus. You watch Obi-Wan, and then you hit your peak, and you don't want that peak to stop. And so you're like, oh, but Marvel just released this new fucking show too. I haven't seen this. Let's keep it going. Now that first episode is gonna make or break it. I promise you, brother. It will make or break that show.
For which one, Obi-Wan or
for Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel. I mean, we've seen the trailer. It's not too bad.
That just doesn't make any sense to me on why they would have both those shows on the same night. Like it's
that's what I would assume. I would think that they would kind of want to stretch the material out.
Exactly. I really think they're trying to save their ass for that time slot. Like maybe Miss Marvel isn't as strong as they thought, and so they figured, all right, well, let's put Obi-Wan here as well.
So that's what I'm saying.
So we don't lose anybody because
that's exactly what I'm saying.
That has me scared. Like there's really no logical reason why they would do that. It doesn't,
especially since, oh man, and I'm not trying to spoil anything, and especially since there's been such a drastic change, Miss Marvel, where like she herself has a pretty strong fan base, like. I mean, you talk to Miss Marvel fans who are fans of the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, dude, she's solid as fuck." Yeah, like good character development, and she does. Like to me, if I'm gonna choose, America Chavez over Kamala Khan, I'm gonna go with Kamala Khan, and it's like, and especially after Doctor Strange 2, I'm gonna give America Chavez her third and final fucking due, dude. I will go. And good, about time, Danny. God damn it. I'm gonna give America her last shot to wow me, or to at least keep my attention. I don't even care if she impresses me. I just want her to keep my attention. If she can do that, then fine. But more on that when we get to the Doctor Strange stuff.
Are you talking like specifically about her power set change? Or like her
no, I'm talking okay, so as far as like the drastic change that I'm talking about, as far as like Kamala Khan, yes, her power change is very important.
Yeah.
Okay. Very important.
I mean, especially with what happened in the movie that came out.
That's why I was trying not to say that.
Yeah, I mean that's why. But there are some things that now correlate to the option of it. Yeah. But we'll get into that, of course, a little bit later. But so far, the Obi-Wan show looks to be very promising. Ewan McGregor looks super amazing. The cinematography looks good. The action looks good. The actors, very excited for it. They got some A-class actors that are going to be in the show. I can't wait for it. It looks like it's going to drop May 27th?
Yeet.
May 27th. 2 months shy of the release for Thor: Love and Thunder, which blows my fucking mind. That we're gonna get Thor: Love and Thunder literally in a couple of months. Yeah, because literally the way we're talking about Obi-Wan dropping this on the same Wednesday as Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel, I feel the same way about them releasing Doctor Strange right now and then Thor in a couple of months. Like I feel the same exact way about that. It's so crazy for them to release those movies so close together.
So close together, right?
Right. It's so weird, but at the same time, like. It's almost the antithesis of what they wanted to produce before the pandemic. They wanted it to be where there was just content after content, movie after movie.
Well, I think they're finally at that point now where they can actually start doing that again. Because I mean, like, look at it 3 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Where it was just back-to-back Marvel movies. You had this, you had that, you had this, you had that, and we were all for it, right? And now it's been about 2-3 years, and now we're kind of like, okay, like let's get the steam rolling again. And so now, like, they're producing the Marvel shows, producing the Disney Plus stuff. Now we have stuff on two fronts, not just Star Wars, but also Marvel. And like now we're getting our fucking just minds blown with everything, and we're just getting it full faced all over again. And then, like, I think it's a good change of pace again. Like they slowed down, they ramped down for the pandemic. Now they're starting to ramp back up, and let's see where they go from here. You got to keep the faith. Is basically what I'm
Most
saying.
of these movies are supposed to be out already. Like we were supposed to get these movies like a year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah.
So like they were just lined up ready to come out. But I do think there is something to what you're saying about it being so close. Like 2 months, like that's really close.
And that's something that I want to touch base on, of course, when we get to that discussion. But yeah, so far the Obi-Wan trailer looks to be super amazing. I can't wait for it. I'm going to be super excited. I think this is going to be a really beautiful love letter to the Star Wars fans of the prequels. Like I really, really, truly believe that this is going to be that love letter that was supposed to be like, hey, do you remember how much you love the young Obi-Wan and the young Anakin and all this stuff? Well, we're going to give you what you wanted. This is going to be that story in between.
Yeah, because everyone wanted to know. Everyone's one asking that one question. What was Obi doing on
Yeah,
Tatooine?
what did he do for those fucking 30 years?
30 years, yeah.
Yeah, dude, what did he do?
It was 30 years he's on the run trying to duck that fate. Like, can you imagine what kind of life that could have been, bro?
Yeah.
You're on the run from an ass whooping. Yo, just take your ass whooping, bro.
And then to know that the way that the trailer is kind of portraying it is almost like he's like this most wanted, like a criminal, like a most wanted criminal. So you can.
Oh yeah, dude! Like he's up there with Yoda. Like these are the guys. They were like, you find Obi, you find Yoda, and you dispatch them.
How do you let Yoda out of all the fucking Jedi?
How do you let that guy
let those two escape?
Yeah, but remember he was protected by Wookiees.
Yeah,
yeah, he was
dude, and him and the
around
Wookiees, dude, man, he fucks.
He was around Black Chris Hansen.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, judging from Black Chris Hansen, that doesn't really mean fucking.
Yeah,
much.
that doesn't really mean a lot. Yeah, no shit. That guy got tanked by everybody, by the Power Ranger guys, dude.
Except the main
granted, dude, but I'm just saying, man, this is Yoda we're talking about. This guy is strong as fuck.
Yeah,
he doesn't
want
somebody
how
near him.
How are the
people ain't gonna be here?
Not dope? We got to see Yoda whoop ass, bro.
Yep.
That alone deserves to be like on top tier of the trilogies, right there.
It is. And anyone who says different is either fucking broken inside.
The prequels are fucking dope, bro.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be a really great love letter to that series, and if they run it right and the story's good, I think this is probably gonna be one of the best things that Star Wars gets for a really long time.
Yeah, outside of Mando, this could be the Mando. I'm not gonna say the Mando killer, but like, yeah. This will be on the same level of emotion that like Mando gave us.
Yo, yeah. Chris is gonna come in here and destroy that fucking show.
Watch, dude. Watch. Because if it doesn't answer every single
annihilate that fucking show.
If it doesn't give him the exact
I really want it to be successful.
Trash.
I really want it to be successful because you get Ewan McGregor and Christian Haydenson back.
Yeah.
Like it has to be good. It has to be good.
Right.
Like it has to be like, even if it's bad, they're gonna sell it.
And to your point, like all the research that old boy was doing,
yeah. So I'm really, really excited. Christian Hayden's, like I said, been kind of like MIA for a while. So to see him come back to reprise like his role as Darth Vader, I think he's gonna kill it. I
mean, like Darth Vader. Darth Vader was one of those characters to him that's gonna, or Anakin to be more specific, that was a career defining character for him, and like very much like Tobey Maguire, and with Peter Parker, he's gonna treat that character with a level of respect that you're only gonna get from him because like it means that much. He played Anakin for 2 movies. He voiced him on other medias as well. Like the guy gives a fuck about this project.
I think that he understands that if he does give a fuck about it, this could actually be successful. Like I think he understands that. Yeah. Like if he takes care of this the way that we know that he can, then this will be very successful. And I think he understands that.
Yo, what about Jake Lloyd, man? Think we get Jake Lloyd back in the Star Wars universe? That's the original Anakin Skywalker, dude.
The little
The
guy.
little
Dude,
boy
he
from
is
the prequels.
he is beyond done with acting. Beyond done.
Didn't he get like arrested and shit? He was,
Yeah,
like,
not only
second
but not only was he
coach and-
arrested, like okay, well, aside from his outside dealings, like dude, when he was a kid, he was bullied for being Anakin Skywalker.
Ah,
Weird.
that's gotta be the fucking pits, dude. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
dude, weird, but and yeah, dude, that like hard stopped his movie career.
Yo, that kid had it. Remember, he
Yo,
wooed a
Anakin
whole ass
Skywalker.
fucking,
Let's go beat his ass.
he wooed a
Right?
whole ass Jane Foster, dude. Natalie Portman. He got her to fall in love with him and shit. That was
Yeah,
like,
dude,
he
get
had it,
fucked,
man.
bro. Yeah, dude, that girl was in love with me,
Like,
pussy.
you see that? I was 10, she was 15. She was
Yeah.
a queen already, and I had that.
They didn't give a fuck about that. He was
Yeah,
beating his,
dude,
he was beating
George
his ass.
Lucas, man. Fucking George Lucas. It would be super crazy if they brought him back in some kind of weird cameo. Like maybe if he worked at like a fucking stand in the desert or some shit.
Nah,
and
dude,
Anakin
honest to
and
God, dude,
Solo.
if he does, dude, I want to see him just be like 1/4 portion.
I literally just want to see him in a shop, like give Anakin like a fucking soda or something. I would so fucking laugh my ass off. I'd be like,
Those
I'm
random
done, bro. I'm
shit.
fucking done, dude. I'm super fucking done. God, that'd be so fucking funny. Hey, but you never know, man. If they bring Sam Jackson back, you know, Jake Lloyd's got a chance, man. Jake Lloyd's got a chance.
Sure.
All right, boys. Going on to the next subject. So we're done with Obi-Wan. Now we're getting right into a little bit more of the dicier stuff. We're not into the main conversation of Doctor Strange nor the spoilers. We are at the one before that. We're going to get right to the final season episode finale of Mr. Moon Knight. Boys,
Gentlemen,
episode 6, season finale, Moon Knight. Tell me about it.
Weird pacing.
I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I liked
I
it.
loved it. I loved it. I
It's a
thought
great
it
episode.
was I thought it was a solid 8.5 out of 10, dude. Solid.
This was
Um,
the best acting in a Disney Plus show.
Series.
Easily.
So
yeah,
far.
Oscar Isaac killed it this series.
Yeah.
Even
Like
the girl that
and you
played
know, and
Lydia
nothing
or
against Tom
Layla?
Hiddleston and nothing against, you know,
Yes,
Sebastian Stan or like any
Elizabeth
of these guys.
Olsen.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen Wanda.
And nothing against
Great,
these
but-
people, but like Oscar Isaac brings a depth to such a dynamic character that like that you just it had to be him. It had
Not
to be
anybody
that-
can just do that. Not
Yeah.
anybody can do that shit, bro. He crushed this shit. He knocked it out though. He smoked it.
because I mean, dude, just look at Oscar Isaac's, you know, rapport, dude. I mean, not his rapport, but like, look at his fucking resume, dude.
His resume.
You know, Ex Machina,
that's my shit. He showed
yeah.
his ass off in that movie too, bro. I love that movie.
dude. And that movie fucking smokes, dude. I fucking
Yeah.
love that
I
movie.
love that movie.
Good shit. Yeah, I thought the series ended pretty solid. I thought the last episode kind of gave us what I was expecting the entire season would give us. Like, I wish that it had that kind of, because the pace, the action, the dynamic of the writing of the episode, I feel that that's what the show was missing the entire like 4 episodes in. Like, and I understand that we couldn't have episodes at that pace all the time.
For sure.
But I think the second to the last episode brought such an emotional connection to the Oscar Isaac character.
Yeah.
You know, you get a tremendous backstory.
Oh,
The writing
dude,
of episode 5, and it's like I said, like, so I told you guys, listeners from last week, I was pretty checked out of this episode by episode 3. 4 kind of got lost a little bit, didn't have as much attention.
Mhm.
Episode 5, I went into kind of like, it's whatever. But I was so hooked on Oscar Isaac selling the scenes and just the entire vision of what they gave us as like the history of Mark Spector, if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's true, because it could have been just a random weird fucking episode that he's just having and it's not even a real hit memory.
Yeah.
But
I came here last week. I think it was last week, and I apologize, dude. Like, I was so wrong about this fucking. Well, I wasn't wrong. The first 3 episodes, I could kind of leave.
Yeah.
But like the last 3, they knocked it out the park, bro.
they really did, man. They really did. The last episode really brought such a dynamic to the show that I left wanting more. Like I left wanting more of that world build. I left wanting more of that action that it really brought to the show.
I'm glad that they handled the Jake situation the way that they did. That was
It was
Right?
classy, dude.
that was
It was
genius.
very classy.
Genius. That was fucking genius.
Because like it almost had that weird ace in the hole kind of trump card thing, which you were like, he just wants to hook Layla. Like, oh man, this guy, like, he's not gonna give up. And it was never her in the first place.
Yeah.
Because somewhere deep down inside there was a third persona, a persona that Mark doesn't even know about.
You forget that when he blacks out and turns into Jake, or Jake takes over, no one's watching besides Conchu. Conchu's the only one that is aware of this shit the entire time. He's like, what the fuck? And he had some time to kick it with the homie, bro. And he was like, nah, I got you. Don't worry about it. Them suckers, don't worry about it. I got you.
The other thing that I really, really liked about this episode, of course, there was Layla ends up becoming the avatar of Twerk, or to work, or how do you say it?
It's
Twerk, man.
It's Twerk now, bro. Fuck
it's Twerk. I don't know her name. And I was hoping she was going to turn into,
but yes,
Twerk.
Nah, fuck that.
I was hoping she was going to turn into like a tank, like a hippo, like the Jarhead character in Elden Rings.
I liked her suit. Like I liked her outfit.
But dude, she looked awesome, man.
Dude,
a friend of mine was like, "Yo, huh?"
She's the Scarlet Scarab.
Yeah, the Scarlet Scarab. A friend of mine, Christella, best friend, cosplay extraordinaire,
Right?
Literally was like,
CC
"Yo,
Builds.
it reminded me of Wonder Woman, but like done right."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're not wrong. It looked really good."
Yo, you cosplayers ate this weekend or ate this week. You guys got so much shit coming, bro.
Dude, you aren't lying, man. You are. Lying.
I don't know if you guys know, but I don't want to take us back into this. One thing that I wanted to point out with the Obi-Wan trailer, that they are introducing the new the new stormtroopers. I think it's called like Savage Stormtroopers or something like that. The Savage Troopers. They were the ones in the black with like the red like garment on the side. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
Be prepared. We're going to be seeing a lot of those. That's a costume contest.
I'm going to say like that's going to be cosplay.
That's going to be cosplay worthy. Everything's cosplay worthy.
Dude, honest to God, dude, I'm always a big fan of like the half cloak, like over the shoulder, like cloth look. I don't know why, but that's just such a classy thing, dude. Yeah, dude. And like, man, if I could wear that in everyday wear,
the Scots, man, they got it right, man. The Scots got it right. They got that fashion right. But yeah, Moon Knight episode 6 really brought the pain, man. The episode was super good. The acting was solid. I really hope in some way that this is up for some type of performance piece for like the Oscars or the Grammys or something like that, or whatever they're called. I really hope that it's up there for it, because Oscar Isaac really did knock it out of the park. The entire cast, dude, even the villain guy, Harlow, just sold. Yeah. But what's his name? Is it Ethan Hawke?
Yeah, but okay. So I'll tell you this right now: if he gets any kind of award this year for acting, it will not be for this show. It will be for The Northman. If you have not seen that movie, it is fucking solid. I love it.
Oh, is Ethan Hawke's in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he is King Harvindale.
Yeah, I've heard amazing stuff from the Northman already. So I'll probably check that out. Hopefully this coming weekend. I got a lot of editing to do. So I'm doing some video editing.
I think Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, they both got nominations for Emmys.
Wanda.
For WandaVision. So if they did that, I hope to God that
that Oscar, gets
at least get nominated. At least be nominated. He should fucking win, to be honest with you. But
honestly, dude, I mean, because like episode 4 was just like the emotional gut punch, dude.
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, but straight up, I think what were your guys' best parts of this episode? What were your worst parts?
Ahmet looks stupid.
The crocodile chick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks stupid.
I loved the fluidity between Moon Knight and
Mr. Knight.
And Mr. Knight. I love how they're working they're now working together and they're just switching in and out. I thought that was so cool. Like to see that in live action.
Seamlessness of it.
Yeah, and now you just see Steven and Mark just switch back and forth handling shit. That shit was dope for me.
Yo, just going back to what we were talking about earlier, I think the Oscar's probably going to go to Amber Heard for her performance on the stand. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, I think through and through this episode really carried really well. I think everybody, it all paid off in the end. It paid off better than the Boba Fett series. Which,
let it go.
well, I mean, that's the only thing I can relate to that's been a bad series that didn't pay off at the end, and that's that whole Star Wars like Disney curse that I'm talking about. The advertisement and the build up for that show saying that the ending was going to be so phenomenal, like it really wasn't. It really wasn't. This one, it's so weird because I was so invested by the last episode. By the last episode, I was truly invested. The only thing that I was kind of disappointed with was how there was no consequence to Mark walking on the sand to save Steven.
There
Because
was.
There was later.
It was delayed.
Yeah, there was later. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like
wasn't
at
as
first,
quick
there was no
as-
consequence to it.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, how did Steven fall in and turn it directly into sand? Isn't it by you touch it and you get turned?
Like
that's
almost
what
immediately.
I assumed. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I assumed it was. So when I saw Mark like walking up to him, I was like, oh, this motherfucker's gonna get up. Like, there's no consequence to this. Like, why is he even sand right now? Did he just decide to take a nap? Like, goddamn, like explain some shit. Like those kind of things. That's just continuity, but it wasn't enough to really take me away from the entire season. Like, it wasn't enough to take me away from that episode. The action was so good, man. The fights were super good. But then again, like the only other thing that tripped me out too was Conchu's out there just turning night into day, like no one gives a shit. Like again, if there's anything that fucking trips me out, is how desensitized the world is to life fucking threatening situations in the Marvel universe. Like,
Yeah.
and we're gonna talk about that shit a little bit too because it happened in the movie. So yeah, it's so fucking crazy.
Dude,
but
honest to God, like you have to know at this point that like in the MCU, there's probably some sort of insurance plan, like superhero insurance.
there has to
Like,
be.
like
There has to be.
your car was destroyed and totaled.
Yeah,
Were the Avengers in the
insurance
area at
covers
the time?
destruction from this race,
Yeah.
this race, and this race, and some
Right.
magical insurance. Like if Doctor Strange puts
Right?
a
You
fucking
have to
magical
pay.
anvil
Yeah, you
on
have
it.
to pay a premium for
Yeah.
Doctor Strange insurance, but you always get base
Can you
Avengers
imagine
insurance.
Doctor Strange insurance?
Yo, it
That
would just
was-
trip me out knowing that like the sky, like the night sky that I'm looking at is the night sky from like 1,000 years ago, and that's just the way that it's going to be for the rest of my existence here.
Yeah, rest of your existence.
This asshole Kanju just fucking
Flipped
switched
everybody
it-
back to
flipped
1,000
everything
years
back.
ago. Does that mean they're gonna
Yo.
get the Great Flood again in a couple
Yeah,
of
so
years?
it's
And
like,
shit?
holy shit!
Yo, he didn't even change it back. What an asshole!
No, he didn't. He just left.
Yeah.
it. He's like, fuck
Can
it.
you imagine? Can you imagine? Like 4 days before the last episode, like the fucking sky turned into a fucking EDM concert, right? Like, and then like 3 days later, it just turns to night in like a matter of minutes. Dude, there's people out in the world that are like, man, just fuck all the superheroes, dude.
Well,
Just
you're
fuck this
fucking,
place.
let's say you're living in the MCU and you're an astrologist and you're trying to
Right? You're like
You're
mid
trying to-
thesis
I think I
paper,
just
like,
uncovered a new
like
star.
this close. You're about this close from finding a new constellation, and this asshole just switches
Just
it back.
flips it. Flips the bill.
right, dude. Like, I mean,
Your
can
whole
you-
life's
Did you,
work.
honest to God, imagine being that guy? Like,
Your whole life's work
yeah.
Holy shit! Look
Oh
at this.
yeah.
Down
What
the drain. Holy
actual fuck is going on?
Fuck you, cunt.
Dude, that's that fucking Marvel, man. But through and through, I think the Moon Knight episodes were pretty solid at the very end. This makes me want to go back and watch them all together. Like I feel like it'll make sense if I watch them all in one sitting, rather than wait for one episode per week.
I don't think so. I don't think I will ever be a fan of the first 3 episodes. Like they were cool, they just didn't grab me. Maybe the first one, the second one and third one not so much, but the last couple, yeah, they knocked it out the park.
So, what are we gonna rate this series, man? If we rate it on a scale of 1 to Boba Fett,
One to
no,
Boba
yeah,
Fett?
Boba
Don't you mean
Fett's a
Boba?
5.
Don't you mean Boba Fett to
Boba
Mando?
Fett, yeah.
all right, I'll tell you what. Let's do it a different way. Let us put our favorite Disney Plus Marvel shows in a roster we
Ooh.
would like.
Ooh.
Being that we have right now,
Just MCU, just like the
yeah,
MCU.
just MCU, because I would put I think 5 of them. which is Wanda, Loki, What If, the Falcon, and now this show, Moon Knight.
And that's it, right? There's not another one. That's it, right?
I don't think there's another one.
No.
Okay.
Because we can't we can't look at the old Netflix ones because those are in a separate thing.
Yeah,
Yo, it sucks, but Falcon is gonna be. I'll go first. Falcon is gonna be at the bottom of my list, which sucks because I like Falcon.
Wow. Okay.
I really like Falcon and like it sucks that you're making me rank, but I really like Falcon and Winter Soldier. But if you're giving me this choice,
this list
probably gonna be the last one.
Okay.
Pick. Then it's gonna be Moon Knight in number 4, and then What If, then Loki, and then number 1 Wanda. So I went from bottom to top. So it'll be Falcon and Winter Soldier as my least favorite, Moon Knight second least favorite, What If, Loki, and then WandaVision. WandaVision to me is phenomenal.
Tricks.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of do the same way that Brian did it. I'm gonna start with my least favorites and my most favorite.
I'll do
least favorite. What If. After that, it's going to be Loki. Then it will be Wanda. Afterwards, it's going to be Moon Knight. And believe it or not, man, my favorite was Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Wow.
And look, man, and the reason that I liked it so much, and maybe it's just like the soldier in me, but there's a lot of military-esque, a lot of things that like when I watched it, like I had like a very like emotional response and connection to it. And then on top of that, like the whole race thing,
there was some deep shit. No, there was some deep shit on there.
And that's why, dude, like for me, like it was a super emotional thing. And then plus the fucking the Carter twist. Dude, I still didn't see, I saw it coming, but you just didn't want that to be true. Like you had it in the back of your head. And you're like, please, like,
and then with the Wakandans, ooh,
oh, dude, I'm telling you, bro, it was
that
A1,
shit. That shit was dope, bro. It was dope. But like, the only thing I would put it, like, I would switch it around was maybe like a What If or a Moon Knight, but because Loki and Wanda are 1 and 2 for me.
Brian, what are you drinking tonight?
Water.
Vince is asking.
I got shit to do tomorrow.
Oh,
so
you're hydrated.
Vince.
I am drinking.
I'm gonna be talking to Vince. I'm gonna be talking to Vince later when we get to our last topic because I need to talk to Vince.
Yeah, I'm drinking Snapple Element Rain Agave Cactus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real good. So for me, guys, my choices are gonna be. I'm gonna go from least to favorite. I'm gonna go with What If. I'm gonna go.
You guys really don't like What If, huh?
No,
I'm not a big fan of it. I really.
It's Trick's second least, and it's your least. Wow. Okay.
I think it was.
It was my least favorite.
I think it's easily like. It's an easily throwaway show.
Okay.
Like especially with how they did DrStrange, it now even makes more sense for it to not even be useful in the sense of, what it brought in. But it's gonna be What If.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be Moon Knight for me there. And then it'll be Falcon, Wanda. Actually, Wanda, then Falcon, and then Loki. I was a really big fan of the Loki series.
I know you really like Loki.
Yeah, so. I like the world building that they did in the Loki show.
It was dope, man.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like how they like dumbed down the Asgardians and like they dumbed down Loki from being a god. Like he's just being tanked by a bunch of random humans now. Like they literally just depowered everybody. I was kind of like, but it is what it is. The show is still good. I still consider Loki one of the best shows. I think out of all of the shows that have come out, it kind of has more value in the stake of where the MCU is going to go in the future. Like, I feel like it did because it not only did it build right into something up that's coming up soon, but it built for like the plan where like all the other ones aren't really building for the plan. They're just building for themselves. I guess
Kevin Feige straight lied to us, bro.
Yeah.
He straight lied.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
the Hawkeye series. My apologies. The Hawkeye series. Wow, good call. Yeah.
Yes, Hawkeye. Okay. Then I'm gonna have to change my list. I'm sure I know Brian is. Then I'm gonna have to put Hawkeye right below Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm gonna have to put Hawkeye above Moon Knight.
I am too. Hawkeye is above.
I have to put it right above Moon Knight, so it's right under Falcon. So
Damn, I liked Hawkeye. Yo, I love.
Yeah.
I like all of these shows.
Yeah, man, you
they're-
can't.
they're
like,
good,
I,
like-
honestly, like I really didn't dislike any of them. What If is
It
still
makes it
my
sound-
least favorite, but like,
Yeah.
I
It
mean, I
makes it
still
sound
had
like
a
I'm
lot of
shitting
fun
on
with it.
Falcon. It makes it sound like I'm shitting on Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I really like that show. It's just like I like the other ones a little bit more.
yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
call.
maybe I am bugging with the what if shit.
Yeah.
You guys might have changed my mind about the
Yeah,
what if.
Monty Smith put.
You guys
I'll-
might be right.
You're like, oh,
You're making some
man,
really
you
solid points,
made
man.
me remember.
Nah, you guys might be right. I might be
He
bugging.
put it upset me a little bit that the Avengers let Battlestar die in Falcon. That was the friend of
Yes,
U.S. agent.
yeah.
I
he
hope
was
the
sergeant-
Avengers will avenge Battlestar somehow.
the
maybe in
fucking
future
youngest sergeant major I've ever fucking seen in
Hey
my
man,
entire
he
life.
was skills, man. He was skills. Yeah, he's put also. I think Battlestar should have been the one to take the serum. I mean, yeah, I could see that. He was a
Yeah.
good actor. He was
Disney
a good
Plus-
actor. Maybe they bring him back. They can run it back. I don't see how they wouldn't.
It's not
but,
like they can't find a new sergeant major to fucking take his place.
Yeah.
There's literally an entire school of them.
Like I
It's
don't know.
in-
He did. Yeah, the Battlestar character was pretty. His costume was pretty cool too.
in Fort Jackson, North Carolina, or no,
Oh,
Yo,
Shiggs is remembering
Fort
something.
Jackson. Yeah, Fort Jackson.
Fort
Not-
Briggs.
Hold on. Disney Plus has just been
South
coming out
Carolina.
with shows since January of last year.
Mhm.
Like, and we've already have 6 shows so far.
Mhm.
Not to mention what we've gotten from Star Wars.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Like
Yeah, they've been putting them out, man.
they're pumping out some content, bro.
Yeah, they're really putting it out. They've been consistent on the Netflix series or on the Disney Plus series. My bad. So they've been consistent on putting out streaming services, which are good. And the hype is real when it comes to those episodes that come out. Like we said, they literally just brought out one of the most unknowing characters, Moon Knight, and they made it entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Moon Knight formula is what I'm hoping Disney does better with, or Marvel does better with all the characters that they're going to be bringing out soon. That's
I think to me it was a formula we've seen before. Like we see that formula done so often. You saw it in Loki, you saw it in Falcon Winter Soldier, you saw it in all of these, every single one of these MCU shows. But with Moon Knight, that emotional depth, dude, that like, and I know, and like, I don't at all mean to shit on these actors, but like the emotional depth that like Oscar Isaac brings to a so like slept on character is just nothing less than phenomenal.
If we're going by acting, then Moon Knight's number 1. Like that's not even up for debate, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you.
No, and I'd have to agree, because like, there's only like a handful of moments in every show to where like you have that emotional tether that like tugs at the heartstrings, right?
Mhm.
You have the Yelena versus Hawkeye, you have the disposition between both of the Lokis and Kang.
well, the entire factor of all the Lokis.
Yeah.
Because they literally introduced at least 4 of the most major Lokis you'd need to know in any Loki comic book series.
Hmm.
The kid Loki, the classic Loki, the Thor, the black guy Loki, which is like the classic savage old Viking Loki. The alligator Loki's brand new, the crocodile one, but fuck, he's cool too. Like, fuck. And then Sylvie, which is technically not the Enchantress, which we all assumed she was.
I'm surprised
Because-
we haven't gotten another meaning, like another
Like an update on the series, right? Series two.
not only that, but like the word variant. Like we don't say the word variant in MCU
Yeah.
anymore since Loki.
Well, not now.
I don't think that's going to become a prevalent thing until we get to Ant-Man.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. I still think it's just something that they're going to use verbally in the Loki series because
It
that's
very
like the
well might
technical
be,
term
but
for
the
TVA.
only reason that like I'm saying Ant-Man now and like, dude, put my name on it. The reason that I say Ant-Man is because Kang we already know is established through Loki, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna see Kang again in Ant-Man. So there's, I mean, logically in the MCU, especially the way that they do things, they're gonna roll things over. and you're going to see variants, and the word variant will probably come out.
I can see it. Yeah, you're right. I can see it that's going to be where they're going to be using that. Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, guys and gals in the comments section, tell us what you guys think in your ranking for when it comes to the Disney Plus series Marvel shows. Tell us which one's your favorite, and tell us which ones are your worst, and tell us how you like the Moon Knight season finale. Did you dig it? Did you not like it? Let us know. We want to know your guys' opinions. Up or down, boys. It's about that time. It's about that time.
ladies and gentlemen.
And now, onwards to the major discussion of tonight. We are going to be starting with our non-spoiler talks for Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness. Boys, I must know. So remember, non-spoilers, no cheating. No cheating. I don't want to hear.
I'm gonna
shut up.
Like the entire show, I've been like mentally telling myself, like, okay, check your words. Pick
It's
your
very
words
hard.
very carefully. Yeah. Like pick your words very carefully. Be very delicate about what you say. So like I'm trying to be like as sensitive as I can with this
Listen,
this
this is your
non-spoiler.
spoiler warning right here. If I slip up, I'm sorry. I just slip up, but I will make a conscious effort to not slip up.
The entire show I've been telling myself, like,
that's the only thing I'm gonna say. That's it.
I'm putting in the comment section that we're doing a non-spoiler discussion first. Okay, boys. So tell me about your first initial reactions to the film. How did you guys like the vibe? How did you guys like the pace? How do you feel everybody did acting-wise and whatnot?
I'll be quick. I'll go first. I liked it. I liked the first hour and a half. That whole third half of that third half of the movie, you could throw that away. I don't know what that was. But I did enjoy the movie most of the parts. The first 2/3, phenomenal, knocked it out of the park. I love the pacing. The writing, I do think that, like I was telling Chris, off camera, I did not believe that I could think that there is such a thing as too much Sam Raimi, but here we are. I do think like there is such a thing as too much Sam Raimi. And I only want to see Sam Raimi when I want to go out of my way to see it. Like that was a little bit too much Sam Raimi for me.
Okay.
But I mean, I did enjoy it. It helped a lot that I kind of tuned down my expectations like the night before. I kind of turned it down, and I wasn't somewhat disappointed. That's it.
Okay. Triggs?
I liked it. I thought it was a great movie. It's a solid 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10 for me. It didn't tug at heartstrings like I thought it was going to. I thought the big bad, while I will say it now without spoiling anything, you guys hit it on the head. I was wrong. I thought the motivations of the big bad was very loose. It is not something that the character, like, it is something that the character does throughout the comic books. You do see the character very selfish that way, but you also get to see a depth of Doctor Strange that you don't really get to see even in the comic books. And it was really good. I had a lot of fun with the movie throughout the movie. A lot of things were drastically changed, but I mean, such is the MCU.
True. Well said, sir.
So for me, the movie was pretty good. It was a roller coaster. It was fun, action packed. Something that I feel the MCU has been lacking since Endgame. I feel that
I agree.
Yeah, I feel that.
Well, I mean, to me, like No Way Home is like my end game, like like heroin, dude. Like if I come off an Endgame, I'm probably gonna watch, No Way Home and just, oh man, I needed that. Yeah.
I feel that this movie brought in a lot of necessary action for what it is they're trying to sell, in the sense of the grandeur of these people's power sets. I feel that they sold a lot of it, but at the same time, towards maybe about the middle to the end, it got a little bit wacky.
And that's when I realized it was too much. It was too much. That's when I
this
realized it was too much.
But
kind
with
of
that being
feel-
said, do you think like with as much wackiness as we got, we're about to get Thor: Love and Thunder, where Taika Waititi is known for this? Are you gonna have that exact same statement?
It's
you know,
it's totally. I think there's a huge distinction between Sam Raimi and
Taika Waititi.
and Taika Waititi. I think there's a huge difference. And
do you think
yes,
there are
yes,
styles?
there is the zaniness of Taika, but it's more appealing to me. I don't know how to explain that.
But he writes
it's
comedy
not-
well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he knows how to
comedy.
do comedy.
This is more like a quirky, just weird shit. Like it's
So-
like with no rhyme or reason to it. That's what Sam Raimi will give you.
Going
No
into
rhyme,
my
no-
next statement is I feel that this movie is a great love letter to the Army of Darkness series and the Evil Dead series.
yeah.
I feel like it's more of Sam Raimi being like, this is what you wanted me for. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give you all of the marks that make it a Sam Raimi film. Like literally everything was there from the Army of Darkness movies. This is literally Army of Darkness 3.0. Like
Yeah.
that's what it literally reminded me of.
Yeah,
So
I can see that.
but to me at the same time, I feel like it almost loses its theme of it being a Doctor Strange film in the middle. But of course, that's just my opinion. If there's other people out there that haven't seen the movie yet, you know, I don't want you to use this as some type of reason why you don't go see it. I think it's cool. I think it was a great movie. I think it was fun. I think it was an adventure. I think for what it's worth is it didn't keep me at the edge of my seat, but I was wanting more of that. Let's see how crazy we can go farther. I got to a point in my mind that I wasn't watching a Doctor Strange film. I was almost watching the What If series again. And I just wanted to see like, okay, what else are they going to bring out? Like, what else are they going to do? This is just getting way too crazy for me.
Great question, Vince. Vince wants to know, do you think the Doctor Strange movie
Yes.
needed an extra 30 minutes?
I think it did. I think it needed a lot more story building. Like we understand Wanda, but there's a lot of things that didn't make sense in the connecting of the series. And we'll talk about that in our spoilers. But
Well,
overall, I
to-
feel what's
Go
up?
ahead. No, I was just gonna say, just to touch on that before we jump off of it, I can answer that in like a non-spoiler
Go
way.
for it.
Like you and I were talking, I do think like their focus was to make sure it was well known that this was a Doctor Strange movie first. So we were gonna spend most of our time with Doctor Strange, no matter how many characters came into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they focused on Doctor Strange and gave you a lot of Scarlet Witch as well. And then everybody else, all the other characters, you were just gonna have to take them how you got them at that
Yeah,
point.
because for some reason, I would say about 20 minutes, 30 minutes into the film, I totally forgot it was a Marvel film.
Hmm.
Like I was so removed that I just didn't feel like it was Marvel anymore. I just felt like it was a Sam Raimi film with people dressed up. Like that's literally I felt, because I don't know. It's probably gonna have to be something we discuss in the spoilers discussion, because I don't want to get into anything.
I'm ready for the spoilers, dude. Like,
But-
don't just be-
Well, I want to give people the chance, because I don't want to kill it for everybody else. But I do recommend this film. I do recommend you to get out, watch it, check it out for yourself. I think it's one of those things where, like, okay, not to be dick about it, but comparing this to the Batman, I would rewatch this film just to rewatch it. I would rewatch it like 3 or 4 times just to get my Marvel marbles out of this. Like I could really rewatch this film.
I
Okay.
could
Because,
too. You know,
Like there's a
and, like,
part of me that literally, like, I want to fire stick later and see if I can find it, just so I can go back and watch to see if there's any cool little things that I missed. There was one part in the very beginning which I want to ask you guys about to see if I missed something and see if you guys can help me with it. Maybe you guys spotted it, but it was so nonchalant. But there's just something about it that I just feel that I could go back, where like the Batman, I fucking despised wanting to go back and see it again. I was such in a bad mood. Like, and fucking, I'll never forget Brian being like, yo, that was shit, dude. I couldn't watch it a second time. In my mind, I was like, I knew what to expect and I was dreading it, but I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance. Maybe I'm too cynical. Like I always, like, I take everything to heart what everybody tells me. And when they're like, hey Chris, you know, Batman's not that bad, I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and try it again.
But that's
And it was
such
bad.
a weird thing, though. It's such a weird thing to have. Like I held that movie in high regards, and it's so weird.
It's so weird to see it a second time, right?
It's so weird to watch it a second time and just being like, wow, like I did not like it the second time at all.
Yeah. But yeah, straight up, I do recommend this film. It's a fun watch. I know it feels like it might be all over the place, but I feel like this was a great experiment for Marvel to do to bring us closer to a more adult, darker style of filmmaking.
Yeah, man, because there's one part
Sam
there's
Raimi,
a small horror part.
I feel like Sam Raimi pulled off like skin of his teeth before it gets to rated R.
I might have some pushback on that.
Yeah, of course. It's not straight up, but you can see where they could
experiment on your time, bro. This is like the one that's supposed to like shoot us into the fucking multiverse, bro. Like, don't experiment on my fucking time, bro. What? Don't.
You're not wrong, dude.
Time,
you are not fucking wrong.
Like, this was supposed to be the one. You know, of all people, you know how much I was looking forward to this movie. Like, I was bypassing the Spider-Man fucking movie. Like, I was like, get that shit out of here. Like, I'm ready for Doctor Strange. Like,
I do remember.
I was looking forward to this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And you just, I mean, I still liked it. If I was grading that thing up, I might give it like a 7.5. But don't fucking experiment on my fucking time, bro.
Robert.
I wanted this one.
Always coming in with the crazy cool questions. Do you guys think it was overhyped?
By us.
Fuck.
By
yes,
us,
it was. Yeah,
yes.
Horribly overhyped. But yes, right now we're gonna give you guys a moment. Whoever is in the chat, whoever is in the live with us, thank you so much for tuning in with us. We are gonna get right into we're gonna get into spoilers talk. But first, I want to let everybody know if you have to bounce out, we understand. We thank you for jumping in the show with us and watching alongside of us. We hope you get the opportunity to see the movie if you haven't. If you're not a fan of being spoiled films and you just want to hear it from people,
stick around.
By all means, stick around and talk with us, ask us questions. But if not, we're gonna talk spoilers. I'm gonna jam real quick the spoiler song. This is gonna give everybody the opportunity to bounce out. So here it comes. I mixed this song myself, boys.
Who's your ghostwriter, dude? DJ Mustard,
Crispy, dude. DJ Crispy up in this house.
Dude, sell this to DJ Mustard.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah. All right, boys.
DJ
Straight into it, man. I want to know. I need to know. Tell me everything you guys want to know about spoilers. Tell me everything you
all right,
you saw.
all right. Listen,
get right the fuck into it.
I'm gonna I'm just gonna piggyback off of that last statement.
Yes.
I love Sam Raimi. I love him. I really do.
Yeah.
Dude, one of my favorite westerns is a Sam Raimi film.
Listen, I love him just like everybody else fucking loves him. I don't care how much money it costs. By all means necessary, are you supposed to get the Russos to direct this fucking movie? If you
this was supposed to be it. This was supposed to be the pinnacle of what was coming, man.
If you need to wait a couple years for this movie to get them, then you do so. But this was the one that you need the Russos for. Dude, I'm gonna jump straight to the third act. The third act, the big fight scene in the third act was two variants of Doctor Strange in a
Fantasia
in a musical note battle.
Right?
That was, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Yo,
that's when I realized. That's when I realized I need.
Rabbit had better fucking bars than these.
But you know what? I get what he was trying to do, which was
what was he trying to do? Please,
okay, so the idea was showing the yin and the yang of each character, right? So when what was the fucking dude that they brought in to do the score? They brought in this fucking dude that did the score, which the dude's like really good at his shit, right? Every time Doctor Strange uses his attacks, yeah. It's some dude. I don't know who the fuck he is. Doctor Strange is doing his attacks. The notes are in a major scale, which are notes that are used in music that's happy. Where when Doctor Strange, the other fucking sinister one, is doing it, it's made in a minor, which makes it sound like depressing, like I don't know, but I wasn't a big fan of it either. But I'll tell you, I wasn't a big fan of that shit. But it was the best part of the fucking movie.
What the fuck are you saying to me right now, Triggs? Do you hear this? What is he talking about? Like,
you know what the funny thing is? You know what the funny thing is? If I had my guitar, I bet I could fucking make a depressing. I bet I could make a depressing song in a major scale.
No, I get it. No, I'm totally following what you're saying, but why did I need that right there? This is a major part. This is first off, we really didn't get that much fighting in this movie. I mean,
we got a lot of ass whippings, but not a lot of fighting.
Do you know what, dude? The fight between Baron Mordo and Doctor Strange was fucking A1, dude.
That was dope.
For 5 seconds, dude.
But dope, you have two Doctor Stranges face to face. I'm expecting some wizard magical shit. I get musical notes being thrown at each other, bro.
Yeah. You know, to me, you know what's funnier is the fact that I got a better wizard fight in fucking Grindelwald than I did in this one.
No, well, fucking Harry Potter fighting Voldemort for the FaceTime with Robert Pattinson when he's just holding them back, and then the ghosts come out of his parents and shit. That was a better fight, and they didn't do anything.
I hope Vince did not leave. I need him in the chat. I need him to tell me what. I need him to tell me what his problem was with the movie, because I saw him on my timeline. He
was disappointed.
He was disappointed. I need him to not let. I need him to not hold that in. I need to.
Yeah, we need explanation.
I need to know what was so bad about it, because I actually like the movie. I'm tearing it down a little bit, but I actually like the fucking movie. Just the last 30 minutes. So
the movie was okay. I think right out of the fucking reins, like for Doctor Strange to walk up. First off, again, Doctor Strange 2 suffers from the same shit I always say, which is the fucking universe, the world they're on is so like disconnected from everything. Like they just don't give a shit anymore. In the beginning scene, he's at a wedding, and in the next scene, a fucking giant octopus like Godzilla's kicking the shit out of a kid. And everyone walks out of the wedding like, oh man, not again. Like I was like, God, these people are so desensitized to like these world-ending events that they're just like, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit anymore. There's a giant fucking octopus trying to eat a fucking child, and no one cares. Like no one cares. I was so fucking my mind about how the world is just so tired of life-threatening situations or world-ending situations that they're just all checked out. So my biggest thing is what I want to know is when Doctor Strange is talking to Christine, there's a very weird scene because there's a scene where it shows both of them in shot. And there's people in the background, and one of them looks like a fucking puppet. Like it looks like a little puppet talking to a dude.
Okay.
And I just wanted to see if maybe I missed something like a fucking Howard the Duck cameo for no fucking reason.
Oh, dude, I would have lost my
reaction.
shit.
You got a reaction from the crowd? Is that what you're asking? Or
No. It was one of those things that they were just talking, and it was like Doctor Strange was like, "Oh, I didn't get my chance," and
you took peyote before you watched this shit, didn't you?
I don't know what the fuck I was on. I just drank a fucking soda from the
movie theater before you watched Doctor Strange.
It was 3D. It
was
in 3D.
How was that? How was it? Because you did say you were
trash, dude.
I told you.
I'm gonna make sure that when I put this video up, I'm gonna hashtag AMC is trash.
I told you.
It's not even the fact that 3D sucks. It's the fact that when we went to the theater, the fucking theater first fucked up the trailers because it was all magenta and green. Oh. And then they forgot to switch the 3D button on. And the movie was just normal. The movie was just it wasn't in 3D.
Are you serious?
Like, at all. Everyone in the theater started taking their shit off. At the end of the movie, I told the lady next to us who we didn't even know, I was like, yo, that fucking shit wasn't even in 3D. And she goes, I know, it was really weird. And I was like, I'm gonna go fucking tell these people I didn't pay $30 for that shit.
And it's just AMC straight up robbed y'all. They straight up
and then so we go outside and we can hear people as we're walking out being like, I don't know if that was in 3D. And like and in my mind, I was like, should I just stand up and tell everybody, yo, you know that shit wasn't in 3D? You should all get your money back. Like I was literally gonna say that, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna bust balls, dude. These guys are working or whatever. And then in my mind,
get the fuck out.
I go to the manager, right? We go to the manager at the end, and the guy comes out and he's like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, so what happened? And I was like, well, your movie wasn't in 3D. Like the trailer's fucked up, and I'm guessing they just didn't, I don't know, switch the button to make it 3D or whatever. And he was like, well, why didn't anybody come and tell me? I was like, bro, you want me to leave the movie to go tell you to fix the shit that I paid $30 for. You just fucked the whole experience up for me. Like you literally want to get $80 out of 2 people. And then you're going to say, hey, well, why didn't you come and fucking tell me the movie that I'm supposed to make sure is good for you to watch isn't good for you to watch? Like, I was like, dude, that's trash, dude. I go, you just fucked the whole movie experience up for me. Then he's like, oh, well, I mean, I can give you can come and watch it again. I was like, I don't want to watch that fucking movie again. It was trash. It was fucking horrible. Why would I want to see it a second time in Dolby Digital 3D? Like, I already saw it in fucking regular. And the guy, like, he literally was just, and then he gave us fucking expired guest passes, dude.
I was gonna say, like, at that point, I would just want you out my face. I'm like, here, dude, just take some fucking tickets to the next show.
Well, he was like, I can give you guest passes, and he gives them, and they're fucking expired, dude. I was just,
he gave me the tickets and just ran. He just ran after he gave me.
This guy could have given me like fucking,
we're good, right?
4-day-old nachos and shit. Ren and Stimpy nacho plate with hair and shit all over it.
You know what, boss? I got you. Yeah, hey, man, but you guys are good, right?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I gotta go handle this over.
Yeah, he just crumbles them up and throws them and runs and shit.
Hey, man, I forgot to turn on the 3D button. Hold up.
Yeah. What was crazy is like, so we're leaving the theater and I see the manager turn around and he looked at like this fucking kid with glasses with a broom and he's like, what happened, man? And I was like, what is he gonna and I can hear him. He's like, yeah, man, a theater 14, like, what happened? And the kid was like, I don't know. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What happened?
You told me.
I was like, bro, this guy better not turn around and get mad at somebody else.
Yeah,
I was like, this motherfucker better not.
It'd have been funny if the kid that's working is like, dude, you told me not to make 3D.
Yeah,
like,
you told me not to make it 3D, man. You said to save that shit for the other shit. Oh man, dude, it was such a fucking like. I mean, that didn't ruin the experience of the movie because I still got to see the fucking film.
You're probably better off, dude. Like,
I mean, I was gonna say I didn't have to worry about headaches or whatever. Like, I'm cool. Like, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But like the movie, like we said, you got it right 100%, Brian. Wanda was 100% the villain through and through. I got it wrong. They didn't even fucking let Nightmare in the building. Like, they didn't even fucking fuck with him. They just said his name 18,000 times.
We were gonna get a Shumagorath. I really thought we were gonna get a Shumagorath or a Nexus being.
But they didn't even name it.
I know.
Like they didn't say Gargantua. They didn't say Shumagorath. Like it didn't speak.
Nothing.
They fucking Suicide Squad killed him. Yeah, Suicide Squad killed him with a fucking thing in his eye.
You got a Chthon reference.
Yeah, Chthon. Yeah, but that was like barely.
Why do they keep calling him Chacon? Like that sounds like a fucking gun or something. Like
no, they say Chthon.
Yeah, isn't it Chthon? But no, even in the film, I think like the fucking Wong guy was like, "Oh, we're in the temple of Chacon," and I was like, "Chacon." I was like, "Fucking Michael Jackson."
I don't think that temple was named after Chthon. I like because I remember Wong saying Chthon like correctly, but like the temple, that they were talking about. It had a weird name for it.
Yeah, it was like the Temple of Wagyu steak or whatever. I don't give a fuck, dude.
I don't know, man. $300 for Wagyu steak? Fuck yeah, I'll pay it.
Gentlemen. So cameos. What did we think about them? Like,
fuck, dude.
Favorite cameos? Were your least favorite cameos? Were there any that you liked or that you weren't?
Monica was stupid.
Monica, which was
I didn't like the whole angry black chick thing. I didn't like that.
Yeah, neither did I.
She wasn't even angry. She was just so conceited, dude.
But
she was
like I kind of get it though because that's not Captain Marvel though, right? That's not.
No, that's Captain Marvel. They called her Captain Marvel.
No, I know that is her, but that's not the Captain Marvel that we know of. I guess just because she's from a different universe. I don't know. Like honestly,
I'm
that whole Illuminati scene was actually supposed to be a lot longer. Like the fight scene was supposed to be a lot longer and got cut.
Dude, so fucking Reed Richards got him and Black Bolt got fucked, dude. Like I was dying and laughing at the same time, dude. When I saw Black Bolt get tanked, I was like,
dude, Black Bolt, I think got it the absolute worst.
Yo, and you know what? Like I fucking laughed at the corny fucking joke that DrStrange says when they introduce him. Did you get that shit? Because he was thinking that it was Pig Latin.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, that's Black Bodius, whatever the fuck," and he's like, "It's a Gladius Timidus and shit." And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I was like, "That's so trash, dude." But then Monica Rambeau
actually like super funny. You know that every
Some
single
broken
actor,
Avenger.
every single actor that they had, other than John Krasinski, has played that character at some point.
Yeah,
Like,
we get that. That's not a
well,
problem.
no. Well, like because everybody was asking, like, oh, who's Black Bolt? Who's Black Bolt? That's Anson Mount.
Yeah,
Anson
that's
Mount
the dude that
was
played Black Bolt in the shitty
yeah,
series.
in the Hulu series.
Yeah, but
They
yeah,
actually gave
you
him
know
a
what?
suit, which is kind of weird, but
Yo, I was gonna say, like, I was really impressed that they put him in the fucking suit. I was really impressed they put him in the Black Bolt suit. Like, they didn't fuck around. Like
and
I
you know
was
what? The
really
suit actually
happy.
looked a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, they really did. I was really impressed by that. Same thing with John Krasinski's Reed Richards. Like, I thought his costume looked good. His entrance looked fucking cheesy. It looked like something right out of a goddamn Robert Spy Kids film. Like when the fucking the teleporting shit came up, and I was like, what fucking TikTok filter are you using, shithead? Like, that's a crappy ass intro.
I saw a lot of people shitting on the whole Illuminati scene.
I think it was good. I think it was just like it was just fan service. It really was.
This is like that. I think that's the reason why I enjoyed it, because I realize and I can understand that that's all it was. It's just fan service. So yeah, dude, I'll laugh and I'll pop for your shit. It's cool. You know what I mean? So I'll take it.
But you know what? I do like that they acknowledge the fact of what the Illuminati is. That it's a think tank of all of these people that come together to make the hard decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that they made a hard decision and they fucked it up like they do in the comic books.
Worst step.
Which is that they didn't listen to DrStrange and Wanda came in and killed them all.
Killed everybody.
Like, that's exactly what the Illuminati does. They fuck everything up, even though they're the smartest motherfuckers in the room.
Who had the worst death in the Illuminati?
Black Bolt. Oh, you know what? No, Carter, dude.
No, dude. I think
Carter was hardcore.
She got it. Like, I don't even know why. I do not know why Sam Raimi was like, yo, let me give this chick the smoke, dude. Let me have her run around and think she's got a chance when all she does.
I was gonna say, like, I was already having a hard time trying to figure out her standing toe to toe with Wanda in the first place.
Dude, she just punches and kicks hard.
Yo, she was standing toe to toe with fucking Wanda, bro.
Yeah. Like, literally, you have Black Bolt that can, like, oh man, dude, the Black Bolt death was so stupid.
She just popped.
God, it's so fucking stupid.
Let
me ask you something. Okay, so Triggs, you're a comic book guy, like a huge comic book guy, and you know the history of the Inhumans.
I do.
Black Bolt hums to make sounds, and he doesn't fucking blow his head out of his ass. Why is it happens now?
So,
and why didn't he just fucking explode and kill everybody in the room with him when he yelled?
So that's the thing. Like, he doesn't really hum. Like, he speaks, and his screams are obviously way more powerful than a whisper. You know, and you know, I'm not even going to get into the whole science of a whisper to a scream and shit like that, and a hum or anything. But the whole thing, like, you know, like closing off his mouth and then having that happen, yeah, I 100% see that happening. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's probably happened in the fucking comic books at one point.
I think that was the reason why they made it a point to show them killing the other Strange, like, so that you can kind of understand his power set and then understand the, like, what would happen if his mouth was shut and he did that shit. So
I guarantee he's made sounds with his mouth shut.
I think that was, I mean, as far as the movie is concerned, I think, again, that's the reason why that scene was shown, him specifically killing Strange in the way that he did, so that now we understand his power set and we notice how powerful that shockwave is. And so I think that was smart. I liked it.
I mean, for me, it was one of those things, like, I think it was easy writing on the way that they took Black Bolt and not Dr. Strange, Reed Richards out. I expected a little, like, I'm not expecting a lot from Reed Richards, but I'm expecting some kind of, like, well, let me get around her and squeeze her and hold her. Like, let me do something, not just like get turned to spaghetti.
I think, like, honestly, and this is just what I'm hearing, that
it was supposed to be longer.
The whole fight scene, it was cut, and you kind of tell it was cut. The Xavier death was cut, and for a fact, that was supposed to go on a lot longer than it did. And he was supposed to give her some work, but that's not the way that they cut
it. Fucking, I mean, him alone should have been able to take her.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm
happened
saying.
before.
Like, he was supposed to give her some work, and it was supposed to be a longer fight scene.
What did you guys
I would have
feel?
rather seen that than fucking Doctor Strange fucking throwing tunes at each other.
Yo, so, yeah, no shit. Yo, but first off, Triggs, this goes to you.
What's up?
Did you catch the reference of how they took out Doctor Strange and why? Like the Illuminati reference. Did you catch that? From Time Runs Out, that was supposed to be the Namor reference.
Yeah,
because he wiped out a whole other universe.
Yeah, well,
that was the Namor getting exalted.
Because in Doctor Strange, and keep in mind, dude, I'm like literally just watching this right now, and it's super funny that you mentioned that because earlier today I was watching and Namor just came back from said explosion where he thinks that he
just wiped out a whole universe.
But the whole thing is that like in Doctor Strange, he was the one who started the very first incursion.
Yep.
So and for me, it was kind of like one of those okay, cool, they stopped Thanos, sick. And then they're like, oh, well, there's one person left, blah blah blah, the guy who started all this, I guess. And I was like, well, that's kind of shitty, just burn the Darkhold. I mean, obviously,
dude, I really wanted a longer Thanos killing scene.
Right.
I wanted to see what this whole like Brian's right. That whole musical note shit, that was trash because the idea is that anytime a Strange gets to the Darkhold, he becomes like a super crazy powerful dude.
Yeah,
enough that he tanked Thanos.
Like we saw how powerful he can be in What If and what his.
But you just saw literally a regular Doctor Strange tank the Darkhold Doctor Strange with fucking Fantasia notes. You know what I mean? Like Mickey Mouse Fantasia.
Yeah, no, and I agree.
It was at that point I realized it was too much Sam Raimi. Right then.
It was that point I realized I was watching a Disney film.
That's what I'm because saying. When you brought up the Taika situation, Taika would never do that to you. That's the difference. That's when I realized that there was too much Sam Raimi in the fucking movie. Was when the notes were being shot at each other's face.
Yeah, but he's just gonna. I don't know, but this is also coming from the
same guy who's like most favorite meme right now is like piss off ghost.
Yeah, but Taika Waititi suffers from too much. What is it? Those who lie in the shadows memes and jokes and things. His vampire story. He'll always reference that, but he's just really good at comedy. But
yeah, and I mean he is that guy's. As far as comedy goes, that guy is in it, dude.
Vince asks at the end, he says, do you think Wanda's dead? No, she's not dead.
Can either one of you guys explain to me how she just went from heel to babyface just like that?
Fucking
she was literally she literally just killed the most powerful. She killed everybody. She just killed the most powerful fucking superheroes.
Dude, she wiped out Taj Mahal or whatever.
And then she just turned around and was like, "Oh, you know what? You're probably right, bro. I should probably stop."
That literally just reminds me, there was no purpose in WandaVision, the television show, if she was just gonna come back and be the exact same motherfucker in that story.
I think there was, and I think when you see
there was no Vision, there was no Vision comeback, and there was no Agatha Harkness comeback. There was nothing of any of those characters.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have been necessary in this movie.
I mean, Agatha Harkness would have at least been somewhat necessary.
Not anymore. Not anymore. She has the Darkhold.
I don't necessarily think.
What does she need Agatha for?
That's what I'm saying. And the same thing I can say about Vision. There's really no need for him in this one. Because again, I have been seeing a lot of narrative just to oppose what you're saying as to why Vision is nowhere in this movie. Is the saying when Wanda left Westview, she was at peace with letting Vision go. She said,
she was a fucking criminal.
She said her goodbye.
Away.
Yeah,
she said her goodbye, and she was at peace with Vision. But her kids, on the other hand, that's a different story.
Yeah, and it was the moment that she heard them. She's learning the Darkhold. Okay, I'm the Scarlet Witch. What does this mean? And then you finally hear the kids laugh, and she's like, "Oh, they are out there."
The idea is too you can't forget this isn't just. It's not college script writing. 100%. The only reason why the other Wanda has children is because she had to be with Vision. So where is the Vision of those universes? Why isn't he alongside the family?
That's a good answer or good
Like,
question.
why is it that they cut him out completely out of the film? It doesn't make any sense. My biggest thing would have
Maybe in
been,
that universe he was a fucking deadbeat dad and he just dipped on him and shit.
I don't
Who knows, dog?
he's just
Vision
he's
just
just
dipped on
out
his
there
kid.
smoking crack with Johnny Depp, dude.
Maybe they got a
He's-
divorce and shit.
Yeah.
They got a
He's out there
divorce.
doing
already.
cocaine with Johnny Depp. He still stayed in that fucking limelight. Fucking Paul
Hey,
Bentley's
man.
still out there.
Vision
doing
was like,
coke.
man, I hate these fucking kids.
Yeah, man, I'm going back with Johnny Depp, man. I'm gonna go hang out with Captain Jack Sparrow, man. I'm gonna shit on someone's bed. Yo, like straight up, like I really thought there was gonna be a moment where Vision was gonna pop up and be like, Wanda, you need to stop. And she was gonna be like, Vision, Viz, you're back. Like, you know what I mean? And he's gonna be like, yeah, like I'm here. Like, you need to stop. Like, the kids aren't real. And then she's gonna be like, yo, fuck you, tin can. And then she's gonna crush him. Like,
you, Tin Can.
yeah, like straight up. Like, that's I expected something like that. Or for her to be like, she shows up to fucking Westview, unpacks fucking Agatha Harkness as the Scarlet Witch, even farther into the Darkhold. And when she comes back, Agatha's like, oh fuck, dude, you're really dark. And she's like, how do I find this fucking chick that can transcend the multiverse? I need my children. Like, that's what I expected. Or her to say something, because again, number one question that I had from the very beginning of the film, which is never explained: how the fuck does she know about America Chavez?
I don't want to like.
And how does she
nitpick
find
that.
her?
I don't want to nitpick that shit, but that is an excellent fucking question.
How the fuck does she know about her?
I would have loved to have learned how she knew about, because I was watching the movie and I remember that the very moment that Wanda said her name, I'm like, ooh, he didn't mention her fucking name.
That was such a
How do
bad
you-
cue
how do
too.
you- yeah,
That
how
was
do
like
you- how
the
do you know?
easiest detective shit when you're like, wait, I never told you the name. This is like
Yeah.
straight up right out of like the Dick Tracy movies. And then, yeah, like just right off the head, like Wanda's like, bring me the chick or I will wipe out all your school of wizards, Harry Potter or whatever. Like,
But you know what? I appreciated it because the pacing of this movie was fast. It didn't stop.
it was real fucking fast.
From the beginning to the end. It was nonstop, and I appreciated that. I didn't need this to be drawn out. It might have been too much. So I'm glad they got to the point. Listen, they gave us the bare minimum information we needed, and they ran with it.
Like, that was like my biggest pet peeve of this entire film is like, how does Wanda keep homing in on America Chavez when America Chavez is the only variation of herself throughout the entire multiverse?
Well,
Like-
so the only thing that I could think of is that like when you're dream walking, well, I mean, because she'd never dream walked before, but like it's kind of hinted at that like through the Darkhold you can kind of view the multiverse, I guess.
But
And,
only
like,
through,
she-
only
and,
through
like, she-
yourself. It's lure. It's lure from the comics. That's
Yeah.
literally what we talked about.
But not just that, like, you know, she kind of, I mean, she says that like, because they ask, you know, like, well, like, how do you know that you have kids in all the other universes? She's like, because I have them in all the other universes. I've seen
Even
them.
though
You
she's
know.
looking for them and she
You
can't
know.
find them throughout the whole multiverse, but every other multiverse got them.
Yeah, and so like for me, it was kind of like, okay, well, I guess she saw America Chavez in one of them and saw her blip out. You know,
That's a fucking lottery though.
Yeah.
Isn't Wanda supposed to be a Nexus being,
yes.
Yes.
which means that she's the one constant throughout all of them?
Yeah, scratch that, dude. That's not important. That's like following continuity. We don't do that here.
But America Chavez is though. So it's
But no.
it's
She's
been
like
established.
a
It's
natural
known.
nexus. She's
Yeah,
not a
she's-
nexus because she's not created. She was just born that way. Like her people that she comes from, the utopian universe, like that's their power. They're multiversal paramedics, which they don't explain shit in this.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know why her parents freaked out because her parents do the same exact shit she does.
You know, it's actually really weird. They gave her old story and her new story, and they blended it.
Yeah, they blended it together.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had bees in their universe. Like fuck, that bee just freaked the shit out of her.
Vision, like the whole Nexus commercial, like it's supposed to be understood that Wanda is a Nexus being. Like it's literally in the WandaVision show.
hmm Like
But
I
yet-
said, there's literally a bunch of stuff that they kind of like peeled over. Yo, did it not upset you guys that the fucking MacGuffin of the Vajanti, the book of Vajanti, got taken out in like 2 seconds? It wasn't even anything.
Yeah.
Like I understood when the chick that was with Wong went and stabbed the book and it like exploded and caught on fire. And I understood from the comic book reference where Wong was like, well, it's a fucking copy. I'm sorry, it's just a copy. Because there are books of the Darkhold that are copies of it. And they're less magical, but they're just as strong if you can work the magic. But the strongest, but the Book of Ashanti is supposed to be like a relic of the universe. It's supposed to be like a constant that you're like, oh, no one can touch it. It's like the Tesseract. Like, you can't do shit to it. And Wanda burns that bitch in 2 seconds. Doctor Strange barely touches it. And she fucking lights it on fire. And it's like, why was there a whole ass story about looking for this fucking book if you were just going to wipe it out so fast? Like, it was, oh man, dude, that was dumb as fuck because you literally don't have an answer past that. The only other way you could take out the Darkhold is with the Book of Ashanti. That's literally like the story. The story is, it's like we said earlier, it's like the yin and the yang. Like the yin and the yang of the story. It's super weird. Yeah, we didn't get a Wolverine cameo.
I know everyone's so fucking disappointed
so
about
bad,
that.
dude, and Deadpool and everyone, man.
Who said Wolverine was supposed to be in the movie?
Everyone.
I didn't hear
everyone. I was so stoked on Iron Man coming out in it because the Ultron.
You guys
bots,
disappointed we didn't get the Tom Cruise Iron Man?
There's a part of me that does, but then again, they literally gave us the antithesis that they're gonna be bringing in Secret Wars. So we're going to get like a million different variants in this fucking thing.
Yeah.
But to me, the buildup just doesn't make sense. Like, one, you have the entire internet fan service that John Krasinski should be the Fantastic Four.
Did he work for you as Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah. I think he sold it. I think he did good. It wasn't very hard. He's a good actor. You know, when he's there and he's like, look, Wanda, don't do this. I have children. I was like, okay, dude, I could see this dude.
Okay, cool. 6. So Franklin's around.
And then 6. They fucking just turn him to gooey chop suey, dude. And in my mind, I was like, why would you do that? Like, why would you introduce us to this character never introduce us to the series?
That reminded me. So that's when I kind of had like a come on moment. Like, come on, fuckers. Like, like he's telling you she's fucking coming. And she's coming to fuck everybody.
And you guys are just treating it like it's nothing.
And you guys are acting like it's cool. Like, all right, it's cool. Like we can take care of her. And he's like, no, you can't.
Yeah, like in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. How did you take care of her if she's hanging out with her family on the couch? Like,
right?
Yeah, like who did you take care of? What Wanda are you talking about?
Because he's sitting there like, no, like she's got the Darkhold, bro. Like she's coming for that ass.
Remember when Doctor Strange was like, yo, Wanda Maximoff is coming. She's got the Darkhold. She's crazy. Then Captain Marvel literally says, oh, we're not worried about her. We've taken care of Wanda before or whatever. And it's like, who? She's at home on the couch. Like, what Wanda are you talking about? You have to take care of shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that whole Illuminati scene was trash.
I liked it.
I mean, for what it's worth, the fan service of it was cool, but it was trash.
I would have been shocked. I would have been shocked to know that Krasinski was going to be Mr. Fantastic if it wasn't for fucking Rob going in our chat and just dropping that in the fucking chat. Thanks a lot, Rob.
Yeah, Rob, you got that shit. That was good.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that one, buddy.
Yo, how did you feel about seeing like an 80-year-old Charles Xavier, man? Do you guys think he needs to retire already? Like, I feel kind of bad they made him do this shit.
That was brutal. Like, who was in wardrobe that decided to put like the dad pants on him with the fucking pants
all the way past his
belly button. Yeah. He's got a turtleneck on with his bald head, bro. My theater was laughing at him. I felt bad.
There was a motherfucker in the theater that was like, yo, this guy walks, and then everybody started laughing. And I was like, oh my God, dude. But you know what? You know what was an interesting response? Is the response when they introduced America Chavez's mothers. Did you guys get a response for that?
No.
I got people in the crowd that were like giggling, like, oh God. And I was like, wait, don't you guys read the fucking comics? Like, this isn't new.
No. No one reads comics. And on top of that, no one cares about America Chavez.
I was so surprised that no one was like, dude, can't this bitch fly too? Like, America Chavez can fly. That's like a power set.
I was seeing on Twitter a lot of people were kind of disappointed that they didn't dive into her sexuality, and because she was wearing the
the
pride,
ally. Yeah,
I didn't
the
understand
ally.
that.
she was wearing the pride pin,
I didn't
and
understand it.
they didn't like dive into it. I saw a
Well,
lot of people
it-
because only because we know that there is a narrative that Disney will kind of bait you into thinking or letting you know just flat out that this person is gay or bi or whatever it is, and do nothing with it. And people are saying that this may just be another one of those things.
Well, she's not any of that stuff because she's not from our universe. That context doesn't. It's non-existent in her universe.
So then why have the pin?
That's what I said. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like
No,
that
but
does
I
not
think
make any sense.
no, but I think that she is. I think she is gay in the comics, right?
She's bi.
She's bi, so it makes
But
sense.
No, it doesn't make sense because that terminology would be used on Earth in our dimension because it's the way we contribute the idea of being gay, bi, or LGBT or whatever you want to say it. In her universe, she has two mothers because there's no males in her universe.
Yeah, well,
Like,
she was
that's
also
just a
6
common.
when she fucking left her universe.
But
She's
that's
had
a common. That's
bit
a
of
common
time.
understanding. It's a common understanding. In the comic book, she's a lot older.
Yeah,
Yo,
I
like,
know, but
she's
she was
been
still
jumping-
yeah, but she was still just a kid when she left her
She's
universe.
been jumping through multiverses for
Yeah.
her
I
entire-
understand that, but the idea is like the idea of her understanding Spanish and being Puerto Rican, like that would isolate the idea that there's a Puerto Rico in her universe, or there is a Spanish speaking language in her universe, which that's not really explained in the comics. She just classifies herself by that because that's what people notice when she gets here. And they classify her that when she makes it to this universe. Does that make sense? It's a really weird, like, I don't get it why people are I mean, I get it because of course we've talked about this before, proper representation. But she comes from a place where that doesn't exist, and that's why she's so open about it.
Well, then I understand that, but if you're gonna put the
pin
pride pin on
Yeah,
her,
yeah.
then
Kind of
you're
explain it a little bit more.
then you're opening the door to that kind of ridicule. And again,
Yeah.
with the history that Disney has, they always allude to it. They always kind of like beat around the bush with certain characters. And now this one actually has a pride pin on her, and you don't actually even touch on it. Some
Yeah.
people kind of felt a certain way about it.
I can see that. It's really crazy that they didn't, because in the comic book she's a champion for it. Like she champions for that proper representation. So I'm surprised they didn't at least put a little bit into it. But you know, she's a young kid in this series. I think she's probably what, like 15, 14.
I believe so. I would.
Let's just say
And-
she's 16.
Yeah, let's just say she's 16. They're gonna properly raise her to be a young Avenger. So sooner or later she will be in a relationship. They'll write her into that, and I think they'll expand on that when she gets to like that 17 to 18-year-old age phase. Right? I mean, it makes a lot more sense with the way people are, where they don't want it to be established that it's about children doing it.
Yeah.
And they would rather make it to where they're about their adult ages or young adults ages. And then of course you saw her at, I can never pronounce the Tamajot or whatever place doing
Parmetage.
magic, which I didn't understand she could do fucking magic, but I guess since the fucking chubby kid from Spider-Man can do magic, fuck it, everybody can, I guess.
Well, so, I mean, so did DrStrange. I mean, that guy had absolutely no fucking connection to magic whatsoever, and
Yeah, they don't ever
broken
explain
hands, and
anything
you know,
in this
when then we had a
fucking
dude with
universe.
no hands, and he
Yeah,
could do
the other
magic.
dude with no hands just chilling out. Those guys got taken out so fucking fast, dude. So fucking fast.
Yo, they literally had no shot.
Yeah, that was
shot.
literally straight out of Army of Darkness with the fucking little ashes in that one part where they use the reflections as the fucking the thing. Like
Yeah.
the evil, the darkness, or whatever. And then of course they had to have like a first person view of something stalking Wanda, which was the dream sleeping, or what do they call it? Dream walking?
Dream walking.
Yeah, the dream walking scene from fucking the 616 universe, which I am so hyperly disappointed with for Marvel to even fucking say that. That's super disappointing.
Here we go.
That is really fucking disappointing. So,
Okay.
man, Triggs, Brian, I have to ask, what does that do for the Marvel universe and the comic book universe? So, are they literally saying that the comic book universe is the MCU Marvel movie universe?
No.
but they're saying it's the 616. They're literally claiming the movie universe to be the 616.
So I want to say,
Why is it just- why is-
no,
why is
if
that-
I
why is that
remember
so
correctly,
Everybody's
that,
going crazy now. Blah, blah,
that
blah,
Kevin
blah.
Feige has actually stated that
It's
like
not
he's
the
actually
616.
talked with like the Marvel like comics people and like Disney heads, and that like their multiverses are completely different. They will never ever interact. Like there's no designation for the MCU like multiverse, because
Wait,
like that's
I'm
That-
lost.
that's a
So
separate thing.
are you guys confused as to whether or not now the MCU is going to be synonymous with the comic book 616? Is that what you're confused about?
Yes, because
I'm
it's
not.
supposed to be designated as two separate universes. That's what makes
Yeah.
it a multiverse.
yeah,
So
but
the idea-
yeah, but
the
Kevin
idea
Feige's
is-
already stated that that's not a thing.
So what is it? What is it then? So
It's its own it's a separate isolated thing.
So
That's like
then
saying
would
that
either-
that's
would
like
either
saying
one
that
of
that the DC universe is fucking universe 2318796 or whatever.
So then would either one of you gentlemen like to explain why DrStrange is from the 616 then?
I
Because
don't, because I
because
think
that's
it's
what the
bullshit.
MCU is designating it as. That means
actually,
it
the
has no bearing on
MCU
the comic books whatsoever.
the
I'm not-
MCU has been designated as Earth 199959 1999999.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Well, guess
It
what?
literally says right
Well, guess
here.
what?
I know what it says.
Well, guess what?
But I'm telling you, as
guess
per
what?
the people
they
who
just
actually
changed
write
that
the
shit
shit,
up.
they have said that that's not a thing.
Well, guess what?
What?
It's the 616. We just found that out last night. It's the
Yeah.
616, bro.
But how do
They're
you do
calling
it
it the
when?
616.
How do you do it when the guy from Thor, Eric Selvig, figured out that it wasn't the 616, but the 616 is an alternative universe that's out there? Because he had it on the chart behind him in the Looney House when he was understanding the multiverse and the
Okay.
bridge and all that stuff. He literally had it written on the back.
Oh yeah, I
He
do
literally
remember.
put-
I remember. It was
yeah,
on
it
like
was an
the
Easter egg. It says
chalkboard.
what is the 616?
I remember that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
The
I don't-
reason why I say this is because this gives us the opportunity for like shows like the What If,
Yeah.
which is where you get different designed universes. That's the equivalent to like what Trigger said, but going into it, that the DC has what they call the New 52. And the New 52 are the 52 universes in the multiverse that are out there all at once, doing their thing until a crisis or something happens that brings them together. They consolidate and then rebuild, which is equivalent to what the Marvel universe does with the incursions. The 616 is designated for the official Marvel MCU comic book line. Like that's literally where it comes, because that's kind of where all of these
they
stories
pulling
branch
most-
away from.
Yeah, where are they pulling most of their source material?
Yeah, it
from?
would be the 616, right? That would,
So
because
that's
that's
why they-
Prime Earth. That
So
would
why
be what I
they-
would consider Prime Comic Book Earth Marvel.
So then why would they not consider themselves 616? Then I'm confused.
The movie?
Yeah.
Because they're taking, it's like we talk about where, like you look at Gore the God Butcher story, or you look at even right now the Doctor Strange story, the Wanda story of M, Thanos, and the Infinity story and all that stuff, where they're taking assets and stories and cross building them into what the MCU is supposed to be, which is its own universe based off of all these different stories amalgamated into something new.
But most
Right?
of that amalgamation came from the 616, though, right?
Yes,
So then I'm confused again as to why you would be surprised they call it the 616.
because it's not the 616.
If that's where they got most of their source material from, most of their shit from.
Then it would be an amalgamation of the 616 and other stuff.
Okay.
Because even if you think
I'm
about
just
it,
giving
these six,
pushback. I don't have a dog in this fight either. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool.
I've already stated three
Yeah, I did-
times why they can call it the 616.
Yeah, I think
I'm clearly
I
getting
to argue
ignored at
with you
this
about
point.
it, but I think
Triggs,
it,
I didn't go ahead and say again why you think it should.
Okay, because the Disney writers have spoken to the MCU comic writers and have stated that they are completely separate things. The MCU movies may as well be fucking DC or Image. They have no standing in MCU comics whatsoever. They can call it fucking Prime Earth. They can call it 616. Fuck it. They can call it the Ultimate Universe. Doesn't matter. It does not fall in line with MCU comics.
So legitimately, if they do some type of crossover in the comic books, say a Spider-Verse or something, there's probably a large chance that we'll never see a Tobey Maguire, an Andrew Garfield, or a Tom Holland. We'll never get those proper because they're not a part of the amalgamated multiverse that the comic book is.
No.
That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you will never see the character Peter Parker, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire ever step foot into the comic books.
Okay. I mean, okay. Well, that's the thing. I get that.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they can't draw that from that source material. It just means that they have no bearing on each other. That's it.
Okay.
This is MCU. This is Marvel Comics.
Okay, well, I can get behind that. So that's, I think it's
they both do the same thing. They both let me smoke. But
I think it's just very awkward. I think it was, in my opinion, I just feel like maybe it's Marvel kind of passing the reins, saying that the MCU is going to be like the more official line rather than the comic books now. Like kind of passing the reins.
I don't think that at all.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just me.
Like, reason being is because like they also need like an establishment of like their Prime Earth.
Yeah.
Right. Because like you know that Prime Earth or the Prime universe in Marvel is the 616 universe.
I think that's what I was trying to say is to establish that this is the main timeline that or the main
anything else past that is going to be universe 217
yeah I think what I'm thinking is that I think you two are just thinking a little bit too much into it, but which I do understand. I don't think Marvel or I don't think Disney thought that much into it is what I'm saying. They were like, I think they're saying we're pulling a lot of our source material from the 616. We are trying to establish because we're going to start getting into the multiverse. We're going to be going into we're going into Secret Wars. So there's going to be a lot of numbers being thrown out there, and we just want to establish this is the main timeline that we're dealing with. So we'll just call it the 616 so that we can have that correlation with the main shit. That's all I think they did. I don't think they thought that much into it, honestly.
I think they just dropped it then, kind of like an Easter egg.
Yeah, it was that's all that it was. It was just like a little Easter egg, and that's all it was. But I get your gripe though. I see.
So I feel like there wasn't enough story building in the beginning of the story. I feel like they needed a little bit more since it kind of overshadowed the WandaVision series. I feel that it's very weird to me when you see like a character have their journey and then have their resolve only to fall back into the exact same story that she was in prior. Like, I feel like.
But this wasn't a Wanda show. It wasn't a Wanda movie, though. Yeah, I have to agree with Brian on that. This isn't a Wanda show. All they're going to do is they're going to nitpick at what they need to give Wanda her context.
And we literally just sat here and explained that Michael Waldron, I think the writer's name.
Yeah.
He did not watch WandaVision at all.
Oof.
He didn't watch WandaVision at all. It makes
sense. Like to where like
he did not draw anything from WandaVision.
And how does that make you guys feel, man?
I honestly, again, it's not a Wanda movie, so I don't care. It's one thing if you never saw Doctor Strange 1 and try to make a Doctor Strange 2 movie.
But how can you say it's not a WandaVision story when the entire theme of the show is Doctor Strange needing to stop Wanda from traveling the multiverse, looking to her children looking for her children,
really
using
no
the Darkhold.
If you think about it, Wanda, there's really no arc to her. She is just a villain, a flat out villain.
And you already have her story. You have 8 episodes of it.
You don't really need to get
apparently not important enough for the writer of this movie to watch.
She was literally the monster in this, and she even called herself the monster in this movie. You don't really need that. Just think of a regular scary movie. How much like detail do you?
But she had more of a character development than Doctor Strange.
I don't
Because she
think
had
so.
8 episodes of
I
it.
don't.
No,
I
I'm
don't.
talking about in this movie
No,
alone.
he's saying in this movie.
In
and
this
I don't
movie
think so.
alone, she had way more character
I
development than
don't
Doctor
think so.
Strange.
I
Doctor Strange
think
literally played the same character he did in Doctor Strange 1.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, okay, so what was the developing source for Doctor Strange in this film?
I think it was just him coming to terms with all the shit that he hasn't come to terms with. Yeah, I think it was very interesting that people, and this is one thing that I never thought about, but people actually blame Doctor Strange for the blimp. We just found that out in this movie. There's people in this world that are blaming him for being wiped out for the last 5 years.
I don't even know how they know.
Yo,
Did someone get a mass text, dude, or what?
And yo, honestly, there's a lot of shit that goes down apparently in
Hey, yo, fuck
Avengers.
Doctor Strange, dog.
That motherfuckers know
Fuck
about.
this.
So like
Alexander says the only thing that Doctor Strange did was he just got over Christine, which is what he did in the fucking show.
I don't.
The
I
What If
think
series.
it was more complex than that. I think.
Look
it
at
was
this guy's
way-
costume. Look at Alexander's costume in the comment. He's Doctor Strange, dude.
I think.
Look at
I
that
think
costume.
I think it was way more complex than that. Again, there was little things that we found out about Doctor Strange that they took the time on. Listen, it's a Doctor Strange movie. They're gonna take the time to do that to him. Like all he did was listen. They gave Wanda a direction and said, "Go. This is your object." America Chavez. We're not going to tell anybody why you know America Chavez. All we're going to tell them is that you're chasing her because she can get to any multiverse, and that's what you want to do. Now go. And that's exactly what they did. There really was no character development for Wanda. And then there was no consequences for her actions. And when she wanted to be good again, she turned good. There was no development.
There was no development at all for a character. But then I felt the same way about Doctor Strange. He just like walked through the movie. Like he played a babysitter. He was still in love with Christine, which was the same thing from the first film.
Yeah.
At the end, he just tells America, believe in yourself. She believes in herself and she gets her powers, which I doubt she didn't believe in herself before. She walks through the raindrops. Bobby, fuck out of here, dude, with this Street Fighter Chung-Li reference. That's what he says about M. Bison. You remember that fucking movie?
Yeah.
He walks through the raindrops. I fucking hate that line and love it all at the same time. It's a very weird developing story for Doctor Strange. I don't feel like there's any development at all because the only thing he did was he respected Wong at the end, even though he saved Wong's ass. And then he bowed to him at the end, even though he's still a stronger sorcerer supreme who's read the Darkhold, like who touched the Darkhold, who saved the fucking multiverse from Wanda, but he's not the sorcerer supreme. Like, I just can't think of anything else other than he stood on a fucking disc that told him he loves Christine, and then he fixes his fucking watch.
I have a question for you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. Would you guys give Sam Raimi another crack at this?
Yes.
Would you give him another Doctor Strange?
Yeah, definitely. I would give him. Earlier, I saw it in the comments. I'd give him a Ghost Rider film.
Okay.
I'd in a heartbeat give him a Ghost Rider film.
I
wouldn't give him the Midnight Suns though. I wouldn't give him the Midnight Suns film. I think it'd be a little too much with that many characters.
I agree with Vince.
Yeah.
His last post.
I would love to see him do not a Doctor Strange, but a Ghost Rider film. But that's why, dude, every element in this movie was Army of Darkness. They had a Necronomicon. They had this snarky hero that thought he was the best thing on the planet. He has that chick he wants to save. You had a resurrecting villain that came in. You had an eyeball come out of his body for no fucking reason. Like those were all the Army of Darkness things. The only thing he didn't do was come get some or make the little one-line comments that Bruce Campbell does. But actually, we casually did get that with the Bruce Campbell reference.
How'd you guys feel about how'd you guys feel about his cameo?
I was a little sad by it because, I wanted him to kind of get a role for a hero, but I loved it too because it was an Evil Dead reference. Triggs, Bobby asks, what are you doing? Stop looking at your phone.
I'm looking at my phone, dog. What is he gonna do? Not shit. You're old as fuck. Shut up.
Nah, but the Bruce Campbell cameo was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But guys, like, tell me. Throughout all of this film, what was your greatest takeaway from the film?
that there's such a thing as too much Sam Raimi. Other than that, like there's really not much for me, dude. Like I like the movie. I don't know, to answer my own question, I don't know if I'm gonna give him another shot. It was cool. Again, it was an experiment. I don't know if I needed it anymore.
Okay. Triggs?
Secret Wars is coming.
Yep.
If there's anything that I could take away from it is I got goosebumps the moment that Reed Richards came in and mentioned an incursion. Like the
I
moment
was gonna
he
say
was
we've
like-
been talking about this for a while, and you haven't even taken your bow yet, dude. Like you haven't even
Yo, so
gotten your flowers yet.
I-
You have been screaming this incursion shit since
there was literally two major references that I was so hyped about. One of them was the incursion, and then me stating how I thought that this could have been the life raft, but it wasn't. But the girl, Christine, worked for the Baxter Foundation.
yeah.
Like it wasn't the Baxter facility, it wasn't the Fantastic Four, it was the foundation, which is the Future Foundation.
Yeah.
So I was real like, fuck yeah, it was so close. The one thing that we didn't get was I thought these were people trying to survive the collapsing of the multiverse, where they were just in their own multiverse, just in their own utopia.
Mhm.
What I want to ask is, how do you feel with the idea that it's Doctor Strange getting the Darkhold that creates these type of incursions? And how do you feel seeing the embodiment of the film version of an incursion happen at the end in the third arc of the film, in the third chapter part or whatever? So like when you go to that Doctor Strange, the Sinister Strange, that is a world that survived an incursion.
Mhm.
He's the one that killed everybody in the other world, and he's just there now by himself.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. I think his world is about to be incursed.
No. That was like them surviving the incursion. He even says it that he killed everybody in the universe. That's
Yeah,
why he's like,
but
that's
no,
the
yeah,
world.
but like because he states that like the incursion is still going on. Not that
Really?
everyone's dead. It's the first Doctor Strange who killed everybody. The one in the Illuminati
Defender one.
universe.
Yeah, the one in the blue. He killed an entire
Yeah,
universe.
he's the
yeah.
one who killed an entire universe.
Yeah, but then the reason why he's killed is because he admits it. I forgot who he calls, but he tells someone that he caused an incursion and killed a bunch of people and all this stuff. And then they're like, well, there's only one more person we got to take care of. That's you, because we can't have that here. So there's not an incursion happening on that world. What I thought was when he went to the Sinister World is where he got exiled by Wanda using America Chavez's powers, and she threw him into a universe that was like at the ending of time kind of thing. That's why when he's in the Sanctum Sanctorum, well, I guess you could say it's probably still going on because everything is still being broken apart, right?
Still being broken.
So
apart.
in
How's
the
it
What
going?
If series, did he cause an incursion?
Very well may have.
May have, yeah.
Very well may have. I
Maybe that's
mean,
what
you
it
know, like it, especially with the theme that's going on with Multiverse of Madness, there's three main things to take away from Doctor Strange, and that's why I kind of find it a little funny that like everyone's like, no character development. There's three main things that he has a constant in all of these multiverses. One, he's a complete asshole. Two, he loves Christine, and three, he causes an incursion. He gets a hold of the Darkhold, and he causes an incursion.
Not character development, though.
Not character development.
Yeah, no character development, though. But those are three constants. That's not a lie.
Thus, like like when he's coming back to his, like he's like, okay, well, I've stopped all of that. I got over Christine. I'm cool. I'm not as much of an asshole anymore. Sick, and I didn't create a fucking an incursion this time. Awesome. And then Clea comes and she's like, yes, you did. And he's like, ah.
Yo, are we nitpicking? Like, do we need character development from Doctor Strange at this point? Like, we've gotten a lot of Doctor Strange so far.
Not really. I have three movies where he got plenty of it.
Yes, I'm saying now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know if I necessarily needed any type of character development from Doctor Strange in this movie.
Well, that's the whole purpose of film. Like, you always have character development. Like, there
Not
has to be some type of growth
not
or
necessarily.
a decline in the character. It's either the character is going to be better or he's going to be worse than he was in his previous thing. If he stays stagnant, then your character just doesn't go anywhere.
I feel like
but he didn't stay stagnant.
I feel like very feel like he didn't stay stagnant. I think
Yeah,
that
he didn't stay stagnant.
I don't
all.
know. I just
personally, but that's just my opinion. That's just my
go to
opinion.
bed geeks this past year did time. Not really, Bob. I don't know, man.
My bedtime is when people wake up.
Oh yeah. No, it's one of those things. Like there was something about the film that there's a lot of like weird situations. Like, so one, Wanda ends up being possessed by the Wanda from the 616 during the dream walk. I'm just going to use that because that's the easiest way to go with it.
Yeah.
Stay strange. I like that. When Wanda from the 616 loses that grip with the Wanda from their universe,
She just gets up and just bounces.
What the fuck, dude?
I know you're
Like,
going.
did she not have any remorse for killing the entire faction of their Avengers?
She just got right up out of there.
She was like, my kids, and then
straight
bounced
home.
the fuck out of there.
She just went straight home.
Like,
I mean, you know, in her defense, I'd probably be the same way. Like, oh, yeah, I should probably go with my kids,
dope.
dude.
It would have been dope if she'd have been like, yo, what the fuck? And those two kind of square off a little bit, but whatever. Listen, I like what I got.
It looked like that was going to be a thing too. Like even in the trailers, it looked like there was going to be
could have been
a dual Scarlet Witch fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yo, get away from my kids. Like, yo, they ain't my kids, and I'm like.
So what prevents any other Wanda from like fighting that Wanda in the multiverse or going and getting her Darkhold and fighting her back?
Well, the fact that one, there's no more Darkholds, and two, Wanda's dead.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I don't know. It was just it was very awkward to me. Like just to see her like literally kill everybody. Like she literally fucking killed everybody.
Everybody.
And then she was like, "Oops, gotta go. Bye. Left the cookies in the oven or whatever." And just like without a remorse, like without feeling anything for what she had done.
Yeah.
Like in that universe, she is a good person. Like she's a mother. She has everything she wants. She's good at heart. Why is it she didn't say, hey, you know what? Like, I should be the hero and stay and help these people for what I've done. But she didn't. She just bounced out. And I guess that's just writing in their opinion on how they thought it was going to be good. I just thought it was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Brian said, like later on, Wanda switches sides so fucking fast. And you know what was even weirder than that? Like when she gets into that temple and those creatures just bow. Yeah. Did you feel that was kind of like, why even fucking spend money on the CG to make those guys? They didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like those guys, the guy was going to throw like a Kamehameha and Wong stabs him in the fucking jawline. And that character just died. And then they throw rocks. Like other than that, they didn't do shit. Like that's some money that they spent for those assets and that CG. I thought that was useless. Why even show those characters? You could have just, I don't know. 100%. You know what I fucking dug though? The dead zombie Strange.
Yeah.
Like the ending when he's like flipping and flying and fighting Wanda's fireballs. And I thought that was cool.
If I could have a choice, I probably would rather not have had that in the trailers and would have been surprised by that, but it's okay.
Yeah, that would have been but even the idea of him like dream walking, right?
Yeah.
So so let me ask something because maybe I just missed this. Yeah, the demon cloak was fucking legit, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like that was.
I think that was my favorite part of like that whole whole exchange.
I have to ask because so they have the whole "I live again" from Army of Darkness scene. He possesses the dead Doctor Strange, right? The Defender Strange.
Yeah.
Is the reason why the damned souls come out because he's possessing an undead person?
That's exactly why.
Okay, so that's why those.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like what's.
So that was the rule he broke, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so there's like a curse or something that comes with that.
Yeah, because Wanda calls him a hypocrite. She was like, "You're not supposed to do that. Like, you know, you're not supposed to do that, and yet you're calling me like, and you're over here trying to fight me like what a hypocrite."
Yeah.
And yeah.
But the reason why is because Wanda looks super surprised by the damned souls. Like she had never seen them before.
She probably thought that he probably wouldn't even go that far. You know, like that may not even be a thing. You know, who knows? I mean, if we're gonna call a spade a spade, I mean, it's not like Doctor Strange isn't way more well versed in magic than she is.
But he's not, because she's read the Darkhold, right?
And she's not
Yeah,
even
but that's a single book out of the fucking hundreds that he's
Library of the Vishanti or whatever.
Yeah, the hundreds. I'm sure he's read.
Man, fuck, I don't know, man. It was.
She has
That was-
stronger magic because she's the Scarlet Witch. You know,
She's
so
OP,
she's just
dude.
inherently
She was-
stronger.
She was super OP, man. She
Yo,
tagged
but
the entire.
honestly, I didn't really get that. Like, what about her power set did improve from any other movie that she's been in? I thought she looked more powerful in
Endgame.
Endgame
Yeah.
than she did here. At
But
any point
it's
here.
because of the fact that in those stories she's using it almost like telekinesis. Where in this one she's using it more like the way Doctor Strange and like witchcraft magic stuff.
That stood out to me. That I was expecting her to get like a upgrade in power set, and it really just stayed the same. It didn't improve.
But then again, like that's a really interesting concept, because how do you portray chaos magic as a skill or as a magic set, which is like without it looking like telekinesis or without it looking like Doctor Strange hands shit, right?
Yeah.
Like she literally warps reality like without even questioning it. But how do you apply that in a? I thought that would be the hardest representation of a superpower ever when I first thought about it in the Marvel universe. Like I didn't know how they were going to pull that off, and I think it absolutely shows that it's probably one of the hardest powers to get right live action.
I can see that.
Yeah, because literally you're right. Like she's going around making arrows, you know, throwing fireballs like Goku and shit like that. But like, but that's like what everybody else is doing. Like, what makes it stronger because it's red? Like, what makes it crazier because she's monologuing or she's spinning when she throws fireballs? Like, does that make it go harder? Like it's absolutely correct.
Chaos, bro. It's chaos magic. That's why, bro.
I thought it was very interesting the way that when Doctor Strange showed up to her pad and they were in that apple place, and he even smells the branch and he's like, wow, it smells sweet and all this shit. And then she just like flick of the wrists and all that shit like disappears and you realize it was all magic. And Doctor Strange is like, oh shit, I couldn't sense this or whatever. Like that's crazy. And that was the idea, is that because that wasn't just magic, that was reality. That's why he couldn't tell the difference between both of them. I thought that was pretty interesting, but I don't know, man. The movie story-wise, I kind of feel like it was a little bit weak. I give you
the one instance where I didn't like this. I thought it was too much Sam Raimi. The part that I did like, let's get some positive shit in here. The one part that I did love is when Wanda was chasing the three dickheads through the little like tunnel and shit.
Oh, the actual horror part of the movie.
Holy shit, that was dope as fuck. Like that part, I love that part. Like, that turned into an actual horror movie at that point.
And you know what? And I was kind of disappointed with that.
Really?
Yeah, because even though cinematography wise it was good because it was Sam Raimi doing it, and he knows how to make people look evil. Like he knew the exact moments when to be like, yo, make her eyes red. Yo, darken her eyes to make her look like a zombie. Like that was literally us in the trailers being like, yo, zombies Wanda from What If is in this. That's fucking crazy. My thing is like, she's limping everywhere. She was flying 5 fucking seconds ago. Why is she foot chasing these motherfuckers?
Because it's fucking Sam.
I know, it's just build up, right?
And he wanted the fucking chase scene. So
he needed a build up. But you know what I mean? Like
you were gonna get a chase scene, like no matter what. Like you were gonna get one. So
I feel like the America Chavez character, they dropped the ball with her character. I feel like she was more of a it was more of a MacGuffin than anything. She was there only in the necessity of building, like to push the story in the next direction. But I didn't feel like they really built her as a character. Like
that's not what they were into. I don't think they were into building anybody, to be honest.
But they needed to. They needed to build her character.
Well, then you got to give me more than 2 hours. Then you're introducing a brand new character with 2 other characters that are going through that are in the middle of a conflict.
And we talked about this too. Like we talked about it previously. Like that was going to be an important factor. I was one of the people that was championing to see America Chavez because of the fact that I liked her in one comic arc, which is the ultimate storyline.
Honestly, if you and I do agree with you, I don't think there was any development on her either. But I think that if you are going to introduce a new character and you don't have the capacity to do so, then honestly, you didn't even need her in the movie. Then at that point,
You didn't need her in to begin with. You know, and the crazy thing is, there's certain elements that we were able to figure out, right? We figured out that Wanda was going to use the lore tactic, which is the comic book where she's going through the different multiverses, possessing certain people of herself, but they're not as strong as her, and that's why she's trying to get through the universes or the multiverses. That's why she has to fully possess those people. My thing is, then was the Scarlet Witch the multiversal version of herself? Like in the Tesseract scene?
wait, what?
Like,
Oh.
did she transcend time looking for the Wanda body or the Chthon body? You know what I mean? Like, that always tripped me out in the WandaVision series, where she goes to the Tesseract because the Tesseract didn't give her powers. It awoken her powers after all the experiments or whatnot. But she saw a fully figured version of Wanda in the costume that is in WandaVision. And the story of that is that she dreamwalks to possess certain variations of herself. Did she transcend time to possess herself? That's my question.
Dude, you lost me a long fucking time ago.
Triggs, you know what I'm saying or no?
I do, and no, I don't.
What do you think then?
That okay, well, first of all, like it's already established through WandaVision that there's not ever just a single Scarlet Witch. Is that like it's a title, right? Like I'm sure more than one person has ever been the Scarlet Witch ever
Next
in
is
the
being
MCU. Not just Wanda. So that version of the Scarlet Witch very well may have been her. She may have been looking into the future. I mean, why not? She's already fucking reality warping. You know, what's to stop her from fucking looking into the future? And then on top of that, like I said before, you know, she may have just been looking at a previous Scarlet Witch or what she would be if she was the Scarlet Witch.
Or what if that was her at the end, like disappearing from the timeline to go back to find a better multiverse?
Probably
Like, you know
not.
how when she drops the temple on herself and it explodes?
Mhm.
Like, what if that's the power saving her, sending her back into the multiverse to find a better variation of herself?
But how is she getting? She can't.
Okay, then why didn't that version of herself give it to her when she was being
Needed it.
experimented on?
Yeah, when she needed it the most. I don't know. It's just very weird. I'm just trying to say, like, there has to be something about her being able to see a future variation of herself that far in the past. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about that. Okay, guys. So overall, what did you think of the Doctor Strange film?
2 thumbs up, bro. Like, I love that fucking movie.
It was a good movie, man.
Except for the last 30 minutes. Again.
Well, let's rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Probably like a 7.5. I'll give it
Okay.
like a 7.5.
Triggs?
Oh my god, sorry about that. Solid 8.
Solid 8. For me, I'm gonna probably go with like maybe a 6.5, maybe a 7.
What is it gonna take to get to maybe like a 8.5 or a 9? Like
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, like a Winter Soldier.
Winter
sounds like me.
Soldier or bus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Winter Soldier was a really well written story.
No, that was like
Like-
almost a damn near fucking masterpiece, bro. That's
Yeah.
gonna be rough, man. All right.
I mean, it was a great movie.
Damn, Vince.
Civil War wasn't that bad either. I like Civil War 2. I mean, yeah, Vince is like straight 5. Like Vince, and you know what? I think it was the fact that there was so much hype for this film, and it didn't pull through.
Okay, but that's on us though. Like that's on
Yes.
us. That was us. We made the hype for this. Disney and the MC, they didn't do shit.
Yeah, they
What-
just
what-
literally
what-
put stuff out there, and the
But
fan
the
base kind of
cameos,
fucking
yeah,
took it
they
crazy.
kind of already told us the cameos that we're gonna. I mean, like some of them they told us already. So I don't know, man.
That's a really good question that Vince asks. Do you ever think we'll get the Wonder Man Wanda ship in the MCU like we do in the comics?
No.
Dude, that would be so cool to get one. Remember we talked about that, Brian?
I was gonna say you talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we would get cool if we got fucking Wonder Man.
Yeah,
It'd
that's
be
probably
nice.
never gonna happen.
And you know what? That's who I was thinking Bruce Campbell was gonna be.
Oh,
I
that
thought he
would've
was
been
gonna
so
be like
shitty.
some type of like variant of Wonder Man, and he
I
was
heard
gonna know
so
who Wanda
fucking
was.
I heard like Boulder the Brave, like they were supposed to.
Yeah,
be
we
like,
heard Boulder the Brave too. That was another name that was being passed around.
Yeah,
but
we know the hot dog stand guy.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna call him now. That's gonna be a superpower. He's gonna be like El Muerte, dude. It's gonna be the hot dog stand guy.
Dude, like I wanted to talk about that like for the longest. I kept forgetting to bring it up.
I know that's why I brought it up. I knew you want to talk about it.
What do you guys think of fucking Bad Bunny being in the MCU?
I think it's gonna be a cash grab, but I think it's fun. I think it's cool if Marvel kind of like makes these like random. I mean, with the success of like with the fun part of Moon Knight, I didn't think it was that bad at the end. So could they make it work if they just bring some random ass character into the Marvel MCU? I don't know. Maybe with the popularity of Bad Bunny and the way he likes wrestling, I know he's not gonna take it if it sucks.
Tricks.
Oh,
there it is. That's what I was looking for. I
so
mean,
you have no faith.
Honestly, it's not even about Bad Bunny.
I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, who's asking for that movie? Regardless of
I'm
who
not
it is.
going to watch it.
But let me ask: is it going
I'm
to be
not
a
going
Sony
to waste
movie or
my
a
time
Marvel
on
movie?
that.
It's
It's fucking stupid.
It's going to be Sony then, right?
Yeah. And so it's Bad Bunny and Sony.
See, I thought it was going to be a Marvel.
First and
film.
foremost, dog. Let me hit you with this with fucking quickness, dude. I hear Bad Bunny every fucking day while I'm at work. All right, every day. Secondly, I think his music sucks. Thirdly, does he have any credible acting experience? Drama class, fucking theater school, anything?
Well, I mean,
he sold it at WrestleMania, dude.
He's a wrestler.
I could give a fuck what he did in WrestleMania.
He's making more millions than all of us put together, dude.
Maybe, but that doesn't mean that he's going to get my attention.
Listen, he's got the Brad Pitt.
He's got a film with Brad Pitt coming up.
Yep, where he's an assassin. So he's doing work out here, Tricks. Don't sleep on my boy Bad Bunny, man. Don't sleep on my boy Bad Bunny, bro. I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah, and I saw that trailer too. I'm more excited to see Aaron Taylor Johnson than I am to see fucking Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Quicksilver. Yeah, he's in there.
Oh no, you mean Kraven the Hunter?
Kraven the Silver. Let's just call him Kraven the Silver, dude.
Kraven
the Silver. No, but like straight up, like Bad Bunny's making big moves right now. Like, you know, with the opportunity to be a fan of wrestling, but be given the opportunity to be in WrestleMania, like that's a pretty big move. And I know it's not something in the sense of like an acting credit, but you know, that did produce The Rock, that produced John Cena, who happens to be probably the best thing that DC has right now. WrestleMania, WWE is looking at almost being bought out by Disney, like as a wrestling entertainment, like as a show, like it does have some credibility to it, you know, and Bad Bunny's popular. Like Sony sees that. Do we trust Sony? No. Do we know what Sony's doing? Yes. They're just grabbing as much as they can to build some weird universe. They're trying to compete against the MCU.
I would feel more comfortable with him in like on the Disney side of it.
Yeah. If they were to put him in like the fucking Falcon or some shit as El Muerte, I'd be like, all right, let's see.
Telling me if you're and then get fucking squashed, bro. I would love that shit.
Yeah, if you're asking me to be on board with him making a Sony movie that nobody is asking for, I don't have faith in that at all. Dude, they had Venom. They had Venom and fumbled it. So I don't have any faith.
Yeah, how are they gonna build a character that's got zero fucking backing, dude?
Yeah.
Like literally, I think that character came out for like maybe like a comic book or two, right? Triggs? It's only had like maybe like 7 comics, maybe even 9.
Are you guys familiar with this character at all?
No.
He's this like Mexican dude that gets like a mystical mask that gives him powers. And then later on, it's like
he's like a lucha. He's like a lucha.
Yeah, he's a lucha. He's literally a lucha libre. Okay. So like that's why I'm kind of like, oh, okay, Bad Bunny likes that shit. Like at least they're giving it to someone who kind of digs that shit.
It makes sense. Okay.
Now, could they be taking the idea of like the original, like what was that guy Nacho Libre, but the original actual dude, like where like he was an orphan, like shit like that. Like he was a real dude. He was an orphanage. He lucha'd. He saved kids. Like he was a real dude. Like he was a real lucha libre. It wasn't a comedy, but Nacho Libre made it a comedy, but it's the same story as King from Tekken, which I'm a huge fucking fan of that story. It's just, you know, it's given. But like this guy, like there's some weird god. I want to say that the god that gives him the power is called El Dorado. And literally, I think it's like Iron Man that knocks him the fuck out. Like the god's like stupid as fuck, but he possesses this like mask that has been passed through generations in El Muerte's family. And it just makes him as strong as the person he's fighting.
Okay.
So I think it's cool. It's got a capability to be something interesting. If they're gonna make it like a grounds character, like just some random, like, hey, it's just some random hero
around. Yeah, just running around.
If they're gonna do it, like they're not gonna put him up against fucking Wanda or something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for what it's worth, it's the same literal chance of making a Kraven movie. Because there's not that many. Yeah, there is like a little bit of a fan base for Kraven, bigger than Moon Knight at least. But like it's in the same process where it's like these ground level characters that have kind of like battled with Spider-Man before. But again, Sony's the one that just keeps ruining shit. I think it's just one of those things they're trying to fill the roster up because they want to compete against the MCU with their Spider-Verse. Do I think it's going to be good? Probably not. Am I excited to see something different? Hey, man, you know what? It's very weird, but I'm kind of okay with seeing the representation of a lucha libre Mexican superhero.
Yo, I just so want the Disney MCU to have competition. Like I want there to be something cool. Else. I want the DC EU to get it together. Like I want Sony to get it together. Like we constantly come in here week after week after week shitting on these other production companies because they can't get it right. Like I don't want it to just be Disney kicking ass, you know?
I'm 100%. Vince says, "Oh man, I'm kind of bummed out. We did not get a Namor reference in Doctor Strange." Yeah, I'm about that. It would have been cool to see that actor guy come out for a little bit or do something. The reference that they did was they put Doctor Strange almost in the same position as Namor was, but he got exiled from the Illuminati and he ended up joining the Cabal, which is Thanos' team. And they go around and start different universes in the.
See, and that's the funny thing, dude. Is actually his team. He's the one that started the Cabal. Because like, because like in the story of Time Runs Out, they have no option of how to like
stop an incursion.
Of how to stop this particular incursion, and they're all just I believe that particular story is called 8 minutes, and like they like count down from 8 minutes till like 1 second, and like and Tony Stark does the fucking like coolest thing ever. He gets a bottle of whiskey and he pours all the shots out, and everyone's like, "Oh, sick! He's gonna drink all of that for like the people who have like that he's like inadvertently killed, right?" And he's like, "I cannot beat this incursion, but I can beat alcoholism," and so he just stares at it, and like then you see like 5 seconds till. 3 seconds, 2 seconds till incursion, 1 second till incursion, 1 second past incursion, 10 seconds past incursion, and they're like, "Oh my god, what happened?" And that's when you find out that Namor had
blew up an entire universe.
Had been blowing up other incursions, and he had been like inadvertently stopping it with Thanos and the Black Order and Terran and Maximus the Mad.
Yeah, it's literally the Black Order and like Black Swan and I think like one more person, and they're literally just going around and they're just wiping out universes before the incursion even happens. Like they're literally just going on a mass like genocide. Super nuts. So going off of this theory and going off of this idea, Doctor Strange 2 brought a wild ride, a wild adventure of crazy magic and music and a wiped out fucking cheesed out Wanda looking for two kids who got dumber than they were in the WandaVision show. But it also brought the idea of the incursions. Now this goes on to our next part of the conversation. Where does Marvel go from here?
Secret Wars.
Yeah, okay, so right now, so first off, Triggs, in the most layman terms, explain to me and explain to us the comment section and everything what an incursion is.
Okay, an incursion is
Don't make this a
it-
fucking hour.
yeah, no, I'm not. I have this. I actually kind of
I
prepared
practiced
like
this in the mirror today.
Yeah, no, I really did. So an incursion is basically an event where two worlds of two Earths of two different universes get too close to each other, and they essentially bump into each other, and that essentially,
They
this
bump hard,
particular
dude.
event will either kill one universe or the other universe. The only way to stop it is for one of them basically not to hit, pass through each other. That way, both universes can continue thriving or can continue on. Essentially,
Mad lad Vince, dude. Mad lad Vince. He's like, did you see Vince's comment? Dude's a mad lad, dude. Since Bad Bunny's in Marvel Sony movies, maybe we get Stilt Man. But Logan Paul is playing the character. That's fucking funny. You're
dude, and he
fucking
would too for the
crazy
bag.
guy.
He would.
Oh, he would. For cash, he would.
But yeah, so an incursion is basically just two Earths that are getting too close to each other from two different universes, and if they happen to bump into each other, both universes go. You can essentially stop that from happening if you blow up one of the Earths.
Destroy the other one.
Yeah.
So that's in the comics world, like in the actual storytelling of Marvel. In a business aspect, what is an incursion used for?
An incursion,
like, what
a
do the
takeover?
comic book companies use it for?
What do you mean? What did comic book companies use it for?
Well, like what did Marvel use the incursions for when it came to them writing them into stories?
Oh, well, so an incursion, like the whole story behind that was for Time Runs Out, right? Time Runs Out was the precursor to the 2015 story of Secret Wars, which happens to be my favorite story.
Mhm.
Time Runs Out and Secret Wars are my two favorite Marvel series ever, next to Siege and Secret Wars.
Mhm.
And if I'm gonna do a top five, then it'll be Secret Wars, Time Runs Out, Siege, Civil War, and Fear Itself. Anyway, and Fear Itself being a very, very prominent, Thor story, but neither here nor there. Secret Wars is pretty much what's being teased right now.
So in the aspect of it too, the way that it's used is the incursions are usually used by the comic book companies also to consolidate different multiverses, right?
Yes, kind of.
Because
I mean,
what they could do is
you kind of saw that a little bit in any of the Crisis series.
Mhm.
You saw that, like,
it's a really good tool that a lot of the company,
Yeah,
a lot of the comic book companies use.
Marvel did it. Used the incursions event and the Secret Wars event, Secret Wars event specifically to reboot their entire series.
Yes.
That led into all new, all different Marvel, which very much like New 52. After Flashpoint tanked, then they like redid their entire series again, and now we have
Dark Side Metal.
now we have Marvel as it stands right now.
So with that, do you think Marvel will be using the incursion storyline building into some type of Secret worlds or Secret Wars battle world, all to consolidate the X-Men, the Inhumans, the Fantastic Four, and bring them all together in one coherent universe?
Do you think we get them before that though?
I don't know, man.
Do we get the Fantastic Four before incursions or before Secret Wars?
Yeah,
but I mean, like,
yes.
All right,
Yes.
maybe them. I can see that. But what about mutants? Do you think we'll get flat out no thoughts about it, no misconceptions on who they are, what they are?
Yo, you know what?
Okay.
As a matter of fact, what if series? What if we get the universe where the mutants are? And it's a consolidated movie just basically explaining what mutants are, but that being their variation of the Avengers in their world.
See, I think that is a misstep from the Doctor Strange movie because you had that. You had Charles Xavier right there.
Yep.
Like you had him right there. Like so
Yeah.
now we know mutants are in the MCU, but you had Charles Xavier right there.
But we had him in the multiverse.
We had
Well,
him
not just that.
You had
It was
him
never said. but more importantly, and I think for licensing and rights and stuff like that, the word mutant was never
It was
used.
never used.
Yeah.
But like, do you think
Do you think it's one of those situations why if they do use the word mutants, they'll have to pay somebody for that shit?
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
more than likely?
I think they would have to pay like Universal or Fox or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think
But
they still haven't gotten the
own
full
Fox.
stuff.
They own Fox though.
Yeah, but
Well,
I
I
think
mean, yes,
still
they
there's still some
have.
scrutiny
I mean,
around it.
they have, but I think Kevin Feige or like one of the fucking Russo brothers or somebody was like, "Look, we're gonna put him in the MCU. Obviously, that's gonna happen, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna be for a while."
Yeah.
You know, people were thinking within like the next 3 years. I'm not thinking for like the next 5+.
Why would you be sitting on the X-Men for I'm not disagreeing with you, but like if he does
Why would
that,
you sit on it
I'm
for
gonna-
that long?
I'm gonna be so pissed off. Like you like honestly, let's call a spade a spade. They acquire Fox for no other reason than
Yeah,
for
then to get their mutants back.
so
100%.
like, why the fuck would you? I don't see him sitting on. If I was him, I would be
Trying to
itching
figure
in
out a
my
way to put him
skin
in.
to
Yeah,
find
but,
out a
but,
way to
but
put
with
them-
that being said, what good story out of the X-Men
that's a
would
good
you
question.
start with?
It's a good
Not
question.
not just tell, but which one would you start with?
What are your most interesting X-Men arcs? Because I really don't even.
It's
remember.
very hard to say.
Dude. So I mean, you had Days of
Man,
Future
dude,
Past.
that's
You
hard.
had
Age of Apocalypse.
you had.
But
Age
they're
of
all
Apocalypse.
established stories. Like after you know who the mutants are,
Yeah,
that's what's really hard.
Then
like-
what I would do is when the story right after
First
Jack
class.
Kirby and Stan Lee let go of them.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like when not Hickman or Joe Quesada, I forget who finally picked them up. Jason Aaron. I think it was his run or something like that. And when he picked them up, well, back in like the early 90s, finally when he picked them up out of or like 80s or something like that, when he finally picked them up out of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, where you finally get a rework of the team, you start with that one, go forward.
Okay. And then how would you introduce them to the MCU?
Oh man, see, that's the thing. That more importantly of where you start is, I think, the thing that needs to be like really, really done well, because you can't go with the Eternals route, you can't go with the fucking Inhumans route, you can't go with a scientific route almost at all now. You have to. I mean, I don't know. Like, you have to go something cosmic at this point. You can't go with the Celestials route either.
Shit.
I don't know, man. You know what? There's a part of me that kind of wants to not say that maybe they don't need an origin story.
Wow.
Like, maybe
Look
you
at you, dude,
automatically
breaking the mold here. Okay.
like maybe if they just went in with like the 90s classic Wolverine, like the classic X-Men, like the old classy blue and gold characters, like, but making them look like the way they were in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, that was probably the most famous and what is it?
Iconic.
Like the one that people noticed the first of them. Like when you see the blue and yellow Wolverine, you know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
When you see the Cyclops wearing the blue outfit with the yellow, with the hair sticking out, with the visor, like, you know who that is. When you see Jean Grey in the yellow outfit, you know, with the blue and yellow outfit, like, you know who that is. Even Beast, like even Nightcrawler, you know exactly who those are. Like, I think even this Charles Xavier was noticed more because of the yellow chair. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, people literally were excited to see him, not because it was Patrick Stewart, but because he was in a yellow hovering wheelchair.
I would have liked for them to explain where he was from.
Well, they did.
They did.
Because the X-Men 97 animated film theme song came on. When he came out, you hear the do 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 do.
Yeah.
Like, you heard it in the background. It's exactly who you thought it was going to be. But it sucks because you see him get wiped out. But that's easily thrown out because it's variants and multiverse. There's no value to that. You could just be like, oh, that was from the 96. That wasn't the 97. You know what I mean? Like, that's easily walked around. But it's just like the way it was in the 97 cartoon. Like, they didn't need to give an origin story to every character. They just gave them a mission. Morph died. Cyclops shot the Sentinels. They already had some shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of feel like that you can get away with that now. Like, I feel like they start off, you can have it to where the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants are robbing a bank, Toad and fucking Earthquake or the Blob are out there doing some shit. And then all of a sudden you see fucking Nightcrawler pop in, you see Cyclops come in the blue, and then you see the claws, and you're like, let's get this bitch started or whatever. And boom. First start of the movie.
While I personally wouldn't mind that, you're gonna get a whole lot of yous who are gonna ask, how did they get there?
Well, that's the thing. So my theory in this is they're gonna do what Sony's doing. And that's why Sony's trying to jump at it first. I think they're gonna have it to where the Avengers, the X-Men, the Illuminati, the Fantastic Four, all of these characters are all going to come from their own multiverse because they are the team that saved the people during the Thanos thing. Like, everyone has their own variation, even the Inhumans. Everyone comes from their own multiverse where the others do not exist. Hence the reason why the Illuminati did not mention the Avengers. They only mentioned the Illuminati. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
that was
I feel like at least in that universe, I think it was pretty safe to assume that like the Illuminati was their version of the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, because like you know, granted, you had like the different aspects of, you know, the Illuminati membership. You know, you had the cosmic, the mutant, the scientist, the mystic arts, the blah blah blahs.
Yeah.
You know, so that was cool. But you know, like, I mean, even me, dude, I'm gonna ask, like, okay, well, where did they come from?
I think that this is going to be a great buildup. And my theory is each one of those people comes from a world that has a different history that each one of the Kangs is going to come from. And the Kangs are going to be the ones that are going to sit on the seat of the Beyonder during the Secret Wars battle. And they're going to be like, hey, let's make it like the Grand Champion. Let's make it like what? I don't know that video. I can't remember that fucking video game that the Grandmaster does. But let's make it to where all of these teams get put on Battle World, and they all have to fight it out. And whoever wins,
or some shit like that.
yeah,
but
you know what I'm talking about, right?
But
Yeah.
I
Contest of
wouldn't.
Champions. And
Yeah,
he's gonna be
but,
like, if whoever wins their multiverse is the one that wins.
That would be so
And
shitty
survives.
for Secret Wars.
Yes,
I
it
don't-
would.
I-
It would definitely be shitty.
Ooh, you guys would be so.
I would be so. But you
Yeah,
can see
no,
where they
because
could
like
make instead of the
Secret War,
Beyonder,
like this
they
is
make
one of the
it
very
Kang the
few times
Conqueror.
where I'm gonna be like a continuity Nazi, and like I'm gonna say like the Secret Wars as it
Shit.
was is relatively like doable to put into live action, because like you're already establishing so many different aspects of the MCU to where consolidating all of that, because they're gonna have to consolidate at some point.
Yes, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to bring all of these people together.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do it again. And guess what? There's probably gonna be a reboot, and I promise you, Secret Wars is gonna do that yet again.
Okay,
But not Battle World, because Battle World and Secret Wars are two very, very different stories.
I just have this weird feeling that the Battle World Secret Wars story is going to consist of Kang the Conqueror, and the reason why is because
but I can
in
see
previous
Kang the
battles-
Conqueror playing God Doom's
King
role.
Doom. Well, I see him playing the Beyonder, and the reason why is because he comes from like the 31st century, and whatever anybody wants, he can literally give you because he's from that future timeline.
Mhm.
Like he comes from a future that has.
You know what?
everything.
Actually, scratch Secret Wars. What I can actually almost see now is maybe a time runs out.
Oh well, yeah, definitely they're gonna have to. But the thing is like I really, really think that it sounds like shit though, because I really don't want to believe it is. But you have this idea that the Kangs are all gonna eventually fight each other because that's what they do. So there's gonna be a bunch of different Kangs out there. But I think they're gonna end up being like the way the Beyonders are, where there's a fuckload of Beyonders, but this is their experiment. Their experience is like, okay, we have Illuminatis, we have Avengers, we have Inhumans, we have mutants, we have this. Which one's the best? Who's the best?
Yeah, but cinematically that makes no sense.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like,
Because I know that you're a big Battle World fan.
yeah, fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah, but
I'm a
like,
huge Secret Wars fan too. I think it was great.
yeah,
I love.
but I see them going with Secret Wars more than I do Battle World.
I think we'd have to really look into it. And I know we're about to end the show. To see where it sits, where the Beyonder is in the sense of like who owns him, because that's really going to make or break what they do with the incursions into Secret World. Because we know the incursions breaks into Time Runs Out, breaks into Battle World and Secret Wars. Like we know that.
Yeah, it doesn't break into Battle World.
Well, yeah, well, Battle World comes after Secret Wars.
Yes, but the incursions have no bearing on Battle World.
Well, yeah, it does, because Doom has to save everybody. He saves everybody from the incursions.
Battle World is a completely different story.
Well,
Battle World, that's just what God King Doom called it.
Yeah, he created that.
Yeah, but that whole thing, like that story that you're talking about, that's actually called Battle World, where Terrax makes a Battle World. But no, yeah, what you're talking about, he called it Battle World, but like that's just all he called it.
Yeah, that's just the world.
Yeah. Like there was no contest. It was just sections.
Yeah, it's just sections of the world. But yeah, I don't know. I just get this vibe that it's going to be an amalgamation of both like the 1980s Secret Wars and the new one. I don't know, but we'll have to get a lot closer to it. I did like the fact that they mentioned incursions. I kind of felt that I'm still kind of iffy on the fact that DrStrange is the one that starts it. We'll see where it goes from here. Guys, overall, 1 out of 10. DrStrange again.
Solid 8.
7.5.
Yeah. I'm going to go 7. Guys in the comments, ladies, gentlemen, what did you guys think? How did you guys like the movie? What would you guys rate it out of a 1 out of 10? Tell us your favorite parts. Tell us your not so favorite parts, and tell us what you feel the movie was lacking and what it did very good at. Guys, we want to thank you so much for tuning in on the show today. We appreciate every one of you. To our extraordinary listeners, thank you guys for staying with us, listening to us go off crazy talk. We appreciate every one of you. We'll see you guys again next Friday here on the show, 9 p.m. here on the Average Voice Podcast. We thank you so much. We love every one of you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you guys again next Friday here. Laters.
Thank you.